Good morning and welcome to the 2023 ICF World Cup Day 3. The technical races are coming at you in less than 10 minutes. So get ready for some hardcore carnage with some stand-up paddleboard racing. As you're seeing right now, we are on that second, third, we're on that fourth floor there. I am Dr. Rob Canoe, and I am hoping to lead you through another amazing day of stand-up paddleboard racing. And in the booth next to me, my buddy, Mr. John Miskaukis.
You did great today.
Yes,
Good job,
is
Rob.
right next to me. We are going to be commentating, and we are going to lead you through an amazing day of the most technical racing, the most fun to watch, and the most exciting usually in this profession. John, tell us a little bit about this course and what to expect today for everybody out there.
Well, today obviously is the technicals, the third day of the event, and it's an 800-meter. I believe we're pretty accurate on it for this course, and it's going to be a series of, well, actually, let's just start from the beginning. It's going to be a beach start. So this is new compared to what I saw last year in Oklahoma at the ICF World Cup where we did a water start. So this year we're going to do a beach start. So these guys will have about a 10 to 15 foot sprint to the water, and they have to get a clean entry where they jump onto their boards. And then at that point, Rob, we were just talking about, it's going to be a sprint to that first buoy. That's a huge advantage to round that buoy first. And it's going to be a left-hand turn followed by a right-hand turn and left and a right and another right. So it's a series of, what does it look like, 6 turns?
Five buoy turns here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 buoy turns and a 250-meter sprint to the finish. If you're looking at that course in front of you, they've done a really great job out here of, as you see here, the green buoys are left-hand turns. The orange buoys on your screen are right-hand turns. Now out here, the buoys are a little different color. That left-hand turns are actually yellows, but the oranges remain the same. So talking about a beach start, this is one of the most technical starts in stand-up paddleboarding. There are water starts. There are sitting water starts, standing water starts. There are rolling starts, and then beach starts. These guys have to stand on the sand with their boards in their hand behind a line. They're going to get the go button, and they have to sprint out, jump on their board, hopefully not fall off, start paddling, and make that first sprint to the finish there. John, let's talk about the beach starts. Tell us about how technical that is.
Well, the beach start is actually extremely technical, and most of these guys that you're going to see today have practiced this skill over and over again. Not only is it just, run to the water, jump on your board, and go, you have to, worry about paddle position while you're running, feet position when you do get to your feet. In a case like this even, is slightly different than most beach starts that these guys see, because most of the time when you see a beach start, it's at in an ocean setting where it's a much more tapered sand. So here they've got about 3 feet of shallow water, and then it drops off quick in this lake. So it's going to be a fun start to watch, but it is definitely technical, and these guys do practice it quite a bit. This is going to have a lot to do with handle placements on your board. Again, and a huge factor is your paddle, making sure your paddle's in the right position for that first stroke.
You can see right in front of you Bodie Von Allman, who's picking up his board. He's got his handle is on the side of his board. Most handles historically are kind of right in the middle of the standing pad below, but for these beach starts, these guys usually add a second or even third handle, like you see him holding there, which gives them a little better handle placement. They can manage their board a little appropriately, especially when they're full out run sprinting. And don't forget, these are the skinniest boards on the planet. They are hard to stand on for most people just standing, let alone if you are going to run at 6 miles an hour, jump on your board with a paddle in your hand, and then start standing. You can see these guys, they're all kind of jockeying for position right now. They're starting to get themselves lined up. This is the beach start you're looking at right here, right between these yellow flags. And there's going to be let's talk about our day overall. Maybe so if you're sitting on the couch and you're planning your morning and you haven't made your pancakes yet, you can know exactly what to look for. At 9 a.m. in roughly 5 minutes, and they're going to start hopefully right on the dot. That's their goal. At 9 a.m., we have the men's Heat 1. We have 6 riders in the first heat, followed by 9:15 second men's heat. 9:30 will be the first women's open heat. at 9:45 the second women's heat. So we have 4 initial heats, 2 men, 2 women heats coming up here. We're going to take a little break right after those first 4, and then we're coming back at 10:45 this morning. Right now it is 9 a.m. Eastern time. We're going to come back at 10:45 a.m. to catch the junior finals, the men's master finals, women's finals, and men's finals, all 15 minutes apart. So that action is going to be nonstop, and we're hoping to bring you some great replays in between as well. Okay, John, what do you think these guys are feeling right now, incorporating the idea that most of these guys did a 200-meter sprint on Friday? They all just crushed a 10K yesterday on Saturday. This race is hard enough on its own, but they're coming off of that. How are they feeling today?
Yeah, they're definitely anxious for sure, because they're standing on that start line knowing that any minute it's going to start, but their bodies are tired, I'm sure, and this is really this is a test. We talked about yesterday being entering some more skill levels for paddlers, but this one really, since it is technically the technical race, as they call it, you are pulling out all different aspects of your skills. So I think these guys are excited. I believe we're going to look, somewhere in the 4-minute mark maybe.
These guys are going to be speedsters.
Yeah, we're going to know after these first couple of heats. But and the beauty that we have, Rob, is that we've sort of had a chance to watch these guys sprint and do distance. So we sort of know who the favorites are going to be, and we'll see how they hold up in the technical side.
Yeah, it's going to be fast. If you're sitting out there watching this entire 800-meter course, if you're thinking it's going to take a while, these guys are going to be moving at probably 5, 6, 7, 6+ miles an hour through this course. Buoy turns slow you down a little bit, but they're going to complete this course in most likely under 5 minutes, maybe even some 4s. It'd be pretty exciting to see. We'll have the timer started to keep you posted, but we are 2 minutes away from the start, and let's give some introductions. As you're looking at the screen here, from left to right, you have Peter Korzanski in the red shirt there. Oh, let's look right here. You got Omel that you just saw on the flying fish, that yellow flying fish. Right in front of you on the starboard sprint, you've got Mike Wong. There you go. There's Omelv right there, getting himself ready.
Look, 'cause it looks like he's on the inside lane, so
He's
that's a good position. Yeah.
You got Mike Wang right there, moving a little further on that NSP. That's Bodie Von Allman getting himself set. Had a great race yesterday. Followed by...
That's Christian Sanchez.
Christian Sanchez. He's on his Flying Fish Freedom right there. Christian is from...
He's from Puerto Rico, but I believe he lives in Jacksonville.
Okay. And then we have Peter Korzanski right there on that blue and white SIC board in the red shirt.
From Northern Canada.
Northern Canada, not even Canada.
He was struggling with the heat and humidity a little bit. He said that was a tough part for him yesterday.
And it looks like we do have Andrew Searles on the start list, but we don't see Andrew Searles out there. We see the guys picking up their boards here in a minute. That means they are not far away. This is going to go fast, so we don't want to miss any action for you. But Andrew Searles is on the start list, and we're not seeing him on the line.
That's interesting, because Andrew's had a great performance all weekend. Maybe something personal came up, or you know what? There is the Clearwater Classic in St. Pete going on. Maybe he decided to jump on an OC or something. He is a multi-paddle.
Oh, let's get ready to get started. Oh, there they go.
Jeez.
Beach start already. All right, let's see what's happening.
Omelv
getting the great start. Mike Wong going down right off the bat. Bodie Von Allman probably virtually number 2. Peter Korzanski virtually 3. And that's Christian right there, maybe in that 4th position. Mike Wong in 5th right now. Tell us about what you're seeing.
Oh, I'm seeing Omelv obviously with a great start. Bodie not far behind, though, so we'll see if Bodie can close this gap, and then it's going to be all technique from here. Who can make the cleanest turns?
So I think what's interesting, if you're watching this, the top 4 men of 5 are moving forward. So really the bubble is right now between Christian Sanchez.
Really clean turn by Omelv there.
Yeah, Christian Sanchez and Peter Korzanski. That's the bubble. You're watching this clean. Oh, look at that beautiful drone shot. That's 1, 2, and 3.
Peter, nice turn by Peter. So all 3 of those guys got around clean.
There's your first 3. As we know with sprinting or with technical courses, kind of the first to the buoy has a huge advantage, and sometimes it becomes follow the leader there.
Yeah, just don't make any mistakes, Rob. That's the key. You won't see much in drafting in this race. I mean, you may see a little bit of drafting between buoys, but for the most part, these guys are really worried about making a clean turn primarily. And there you go, Olmev with another nice clean.
That's your number 2, Bodie Von Allman.
Yeah, Bodie Von
and
Allman.
Peter Korzanski here, number 3. You see
Bodie's choosing a little bit of an inside turn, so I guess it's not too sharp of a turn. I don't know if you noticed how he just did a little paddle turn instead of getting to the tail.
He is taking it wide, though. Okay, Peter doing a little bit of a crossbow turn there. There's about 4 different turns in paddleboarding. Looks like he's on that new quick blade Stingray as well. Pretty exciting there. So there's your 1, 2, and 3. You can see these guys are already getting pretty spaced out. I would say as long as nobody's making a mistake here. Omel virtually looking really good. Number 2. Looks like there's maybe some trouble in the back of the course here. We'll see what 4 and 5 are doing here in a second.
So Bodie gets around the buoy clean. So there's your top 3 guys. It looks like that's not going to change. So maybe these guys are taking it a little easy right now. They know they're going to advance. They want to save their energy. So it'll be interesting to see what their times are still.
Absolutely right. Let's see what that 4th and 5th here. You've got number 4.
Yeah, because we have one more qualifier coming out of this heat. So these last 2 guys, one of them's moving on.
This is the battle right here, really. Yeah. You can see on your left going towards that yellow buoy is Mike Wong.
Yeah, it looks like Mike's got the shot right now as long as he gets around this buoy clean.
Mike's on his starboard, and they got Christian Sanchez right behind on that white flying fish right behind him.
Nice turn.
So whenever these guys step back on the board, we call that a pivot turn. When you have a 14-foot board and you have to horse it around while all of it's in the water, it's a little complicated. So one of the great strategies advanced paddlers learn is called a pivot turn. They get to step back. They have to walk on their board, which is a skill set all in itself. And that takes 7 feet of that board, ideally, out of the water, so they can make a little quicker turn. All right, here's your guys. Here's your 1, 2, and 3. Again, they're making their way to the final. There's a 250-meter sprint to the finish line.
Yeah, it looks like Olmev has this. Bodie in second, and but Olmev's looking strong.
Oh, looks like we saw a crash right in the back there. Christian Sanchez took a little bit of a swim around buoy number 4 there.
Nice job by these guys. You can see that technically they were the cleanest paddlers, and they're getting rewarded for it.
Yep. And really, you know what, Bodie, you can see on the left there's no reason for him to be trying to sprint to take first other than pride, because he's going to save his gas, for the final here. And, hey, they just did a 10K yesterday, and they did 200-meter sprints the day before in the heat format. So, they're conditioned for it. They know how to do it, but listen, we're all still humans. There's no doubt they're feeling a little bit of it.
I don't think Olmev did the distance yesterday, did he?
You know what? I don't think Olmev was in the distance.
Because I don't remember calling him on screen much, and he's obviously a strong paddler because he was 5th in the sprint distance or the sprint race on Friday. So it looks like Olmev's going to take the first place finish in this heat 1.
Yeah, looks like Olmev was in the top 5 for sure. Maybe number 4.
Oh, that's sprints. Yeah, it's sprints. He was.
Yep, sprint number 4. Nice job. All right, there's Mike Wong right there, making his way towards the finish line.
It looks like Mike's going to advance into 4th place here. So congratulations, Mike.
There's Peter Korzanski,
and
number
Peter
3.
On the finish.
Excellent job, gentlemen, making their way. These guys are progressing to the finals. They're going to have an hour and a half to recover and keep themselves warmed up. I think that's a really interesting thing too. Most of the time, if you go out and if let's say you're a runner or a cyclist, you show up for your race, you're fully prepared for your 9 a.m. start, and you're going to go all out, and then you're done.
Yep.
But in a race like this, you can't just prepare for your first heat. You have to then try to figure out how to stay warm, or do you cool down and re-warm up in give or take an hour and 45 minutes from now? How do you think most of the guys handle that?
I think most of these guys, you'll see them in the water maybe 5-10 minutes before their next heat just to warm back up. It's going to be hard for them to stay warm all day. It's actually a little cooler out today, so we had a little front move through last night, and there's Mike finishing 4th, so he's going to advance.
There we go. Mike Wong making it to the finals. Excellent job, Mike. Nice finish there. And Christian Sanchez is right behind him. We're going to see him in second, crossing the finish line. There's Christian Sanchez. Number 5, just outside the bubble. He will not go to the final today, but an excellent showing Nice job out there, Christian, throwing yourself in the ring.
Yeah, like I had kind of mentioned earlier, these guys know the top 4 advance. So once those 3 guys knew that they were pretty much well advanced, they're going to take it easy and conserve some energy. So there you go, 4 minutes, like I said, 4 minutes 19 seconds.
We're gonna see sub-4s.
Yeah, you're gonna see some sub-4s. I feel like we might.
Those guys were racing, but once they knew they were in first, second, and third, they knew that they were able to
100%.
conserve some energy. So this is an 800-meter course that we're on. I paddled it this morning. It might be just shy. I think we might even be closer to the 700-plus zone, which is why we might be seeing some exceptionally fast times. 4 minutes and 19 seconds for Omelv, 4:25 Bodie, 4:38 Peter, Mike Wang at 5:46 making the bubble, and Christian Sanchez at 6 minutes 9 seconds. All right, I think if we're lucky, we might be able to see some crashes coming up here, which are, like we said, one of our favorite parts. We don't want anybody swimming too much, but I'm not going to lie.
Well, it is a technical race, and so this is what we were talking about at the beginning of the broadcast, that it's going to be who has the best skill level, not just who's the fastest. So who can get around that buoy the cleanest? I think we're going to see those times a lot tighter, too, in the final.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
Okay, here you've got our top 3 leaders again.
Yeah, there's Bodie making that cross bow turn that we had kind of talked about. You can see it, though. It took him wider than it did Omelv. So, and then Peter sort of does a little canoe, almost like a canoe steer.
Yeah.
He comes from Olympic canoeing. So
a little bit of almost a reverse turn. I wouldn't say that's the fastest way to make that turn, Peter, but Peter knew he was in third. I think he was probably pretty comfortable knowing he just needs to stay on his board.
Yeah, so
let's
see if it shows Omelv's left-hand shoulder turn here.
All right, there's Mike Wong bumping into the buoy, giving it a little shove. Going for
there's Christian. There
Sanchez
we go.
Going down. We always say splash, don't crash, and Christian was a great example of that. If you're going to fall off, just jump off that board and get right back on it, because landing with your knee or your body parts on a carbon fiber board does one of 2 things. Either you injure yourself or you injure the boards.
Or both.
Or both. Or both. Oh, there's Christian Sanchez in the back taking a little swim.
Christian's going to love rewatching this replay. But it's okay. It takes a lot of skill and practice to walk to the tail of a 14-foot board, and I know that Christian's a newer paddler, so I'm stoked to just see him out here giving it his best.
That's what it's all
awesome.
about. If you're joining us first today, we have talked about how paddleboarding is just one of the most inclusive sports. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, or what you do, or whatever else. You are welcome to jump on a paddleboard, and you will be welcomed at any grassroots or ICF World Cup SUP event that you come to, and I think that's so cool that we do have this mix of both intermediate plus riders and advanced and pro riders all together. As we come up on, it's 9:09. Our next heat should start within 6 minutes here.
We'll try to be a little more prepared for that start. I was rambling on at the last.
We are having too much fun here. Listen. You know what? You guys got to listen to us no matter what we say. So
let's talk about who's in this heat. What do you got?
Tough luck to you guys. Let's see. Erie Tenario, Carlo Arias, Jake Portwood, Tillman Miser, and Edwin Cornier. Is it Cornier?
It's Cornier.
Cornier.
Yeah. Man.
I think, listen, let's just call a duck a duck.
Yeah.
The 200-meter sprint went to Erie. The 10K went to Erie. Is it possible that Erie may be winning the tech race? I think there's no doubt.
He's a favorite.
He's a favorite.
But let's talk about Jake Portwood, who's been second in both the sprints.
Jake Portwood has
distance.
been not only second, but he's pretty much been on his tail. The 10K, a little bit of a gap there. But the 200-meter sprint, neck and neck. Both these guys are experts at paddling. Jake is a pretty technical paddler, though. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Jake's a very technical paddler. These guys train together, so they're going to be very close to one another, I feel. But, here's the beauty of this. Top 4 guys advance. So only one of these guys is not advancing. And So Edwin Cornier finished 5th in the distance yesterday.
Yep.
And I know his first qualifying sprint heat, he was 2nd in the sprint heat. So Edwin out of Puerto Rico is a very fast sprinter and a good technical paddler. So Edwin could be in that mix along with Tillman.
Tillman was
Carlo.
number 8. Tillman was 8th in the 10K yesterday, so he clearly has the gas. He was in
and
that
Carlo was maybe 7?
second.
7.
Yeah, Carlos was
seventh
7th
in
overall.
distance,
So these guys were all right there.
Ooh, this is going to be a tough heat. We might see some fast speeds here.
If you were watching the 10K yesterday, we had Erie out in his no man's land, just running a show, and then we had at one point a 9-man draft pack going on, of which all 4 of these individuals were in, and then it split up at some point. Then it kind of split into the first chase pack of 5 guys and the second chase pack.
Yeah,
we're right there. So yeah, this is these guys are getting ready. You can see them warming up. You can see even some of these guys are wearing a strap around their chest. That
heart rate monitor.
Yeah, that measures their heart rate. It goes right to their watch, so they can really get a true heart rate and see what's going on. I bet they're less than 3 minutes away from the start. Let's do some introductions. You want to introduce left to right here as you're looking at the screen?
Yeah, we've got Erie Tenorio on the left and that green and yellow flying fish there. Next to Erie, it looks like it is Carlo in the 2nd position. And let's see, Jake Portwood sitting in the middle of the pack in that 3rd position from left to right. Tillman Meisner next to him, and on the far right is Edwin. Yeah, so
Edwin in that blue jersey
I'm
right there.
kind of looking at that field. It's all flying fish freedoms. So this is a good one for me, I guess.
In case you are unfamiliar with who is sitting next to me, John is the owner of Flying Fish and pretty much designed all 5 of those boards there. So there is no
me and
doubt.
Me and the team.
Me and a team. Okay, he had a hand in it. I'm
yeah.
pretty certain. So, John, what an honor it is. I mean, honestly, I don't want to toot your horn too much here, but that's got to be pretty darn exciting to see all 5 of your boards here on the start line.
Yeah, all these guys mean a lot to me. Carlo is actually borrowing a board for this event because he came from Costa Rica and needed a board. So, but otherwise, I know all these guys personally. So, it's exciting for sure. I mean, being a Florida-based brand, expected to see a lot of our boards here, so I'm excited to see the support.
All right, you can see the drone in the shot there, getting ready to catch some action.
That's a good good way to see the distance they have to run, that 10 to 15 feet sprint before the water drops off. You can even see where the water drops off, Rob, if you look on the screen. You can see where the sand is shallow there for the first 5 or so feet, and then it drops right off. So you're going to see these guys jump to their feet right away.
I went and I paddled this course this morning, just kind of seeing what that looked like. And there's
Did you
no
do
doubt,
the beach start?
I did the beach start.
Okay.
Yeah, I was in full clothes here. I didn't want to be wet while I commentated. I took it a little easy, but there's definitely about 3 or 4 steps before it does drop off. It's 4 or 5 feet deep there. So if I think they're fine, but if you wanted to go a little too far, there's a little seaweed in there. That might be there. You can see these guys getting ready. They're trying to make sure that they've got their paddles in their hand. What do you think? Do most of these guys, are they going to put the paddle on the far side or the close side, or their open hand?
It's honestly, you want to be able to get your top hand to the paddle. So whichever side they're comfortable starting on, some comfortable starting on the right, some on the left. So it looks like they're getting ready to start here any second.
These guys have a little bit of wind today. There's a northwest wind. It was saying about 13 miles an hour. I don't see it there. I think it's calmed down a little bit. It's going to play a little bit of a factor at the end, but not really. Okay, these guys are getting ready to start. Let's call a great race. This is your men's open second heat. Here they go, running to their beach start. Let's see.
Look at somebody fell.
Oh, who's that right
Jake
in the middle?
Portwood.
That was Jake. Oh, man.
Jake Portwood.
Jake is now going to be fighting for that bubble. Erie on your right in virtual first, followed by Carlo, I believe, probably right next to Tillman.
Yeah, well, it looks like Edwin might have a slight lead on Carlo.
Yeah.
So it might be Edwin in second, Carlo in third. We're going to be able to tell at this buoy. So yeah, here goes Edwin pulling into that second spot. So
you can see these guys.
That's a great shot
all
right there,
funneling
Rob.
together, getting ready to make their turn.
Let's see how this buoy turn goes. Erie Tenaro with a nice backhand turn.
Clean turn there, a little toe side here.
Same with Edwin. Let's see. Edwin's riding a really narrow board. Good job, Edwin.
Oh, there we go. This is what we love to see.
Carlo went down.
Carlo's going down, and look at that. That's opening the door for Jake to get back in it.
Yeah, Jake's back in the race. Yeah.
He's now 5th, but there's no doubt he's going to be trying to make a move somewhere. Who do we have number 3 right now? Number 3 is
It looks like Tillman. Tillman sitting in 3rd. Jake's making his move, though, right now. So you can see Jake is powering through that course to make his move. Look at Jake hammer. He does
There's
not.
Jake, that number 4 board moving, trying to get in front of 6 here.
Yeah, he wants to get the advantage to the buoy, right? So if he can get his nose past Tillman's at the buoy, then he has kind of priority at the buoy. So there you go.
There's
see,
exactly
Jake made the
that right
move.
there.
Yeah, so now you have Jake in 3rd, Tillman in 4th, and Carlo in 5th.
Erie right up front. He is now, as he did yesterday, has a comfortable lead. I think he just needs to stay on his board.
Yeah.
Probably looking good right there.
So there's a good shot of the crew. So you got Erie making another clean buoy turn now, followed by Edwin, Jake Portwood, Tillman, and Carlo are battling it out for that bubble spot. So it's going to be a fun.
Let's see what they do at this
it's gonna be
buoy
a fun
turn here.
finish too. There's Edwin. Nice turn by Edwin. Jake, let's see if Jake can get around clean.
Yeah, Jake.
After that
Come on now.
fall at the start.
He fell in. He got it out of his system. He's good now. Better to do it on the first heat, I guess, and make your way up than the finals.
So you can see right there how just the technical turn put a little gap between Tillman and Carlo. So everyone has a strong side and a weak side. That's another thing to talk about. Typically, if you're a goofy footer as far as surfing, and we can maybe explain that a little bit later, but if you're a goofy footer, a right-hand turn is easier, and if you're a regular footer, a left-hand turn is easier because that's your natural foot that goes back.
And if you're wondering which one you are, a goofy foot rider, if you were riding on a skateboard, you would put your right foot forward, or maybe if you kick a soccer ball, your power kick. If it's with your right foot, you're probably a goofy foot rider, and maybe vice versa.
Yeah.
Now the controversy comes though when individuals in this profession say that you should step back with both feet.
Yeah, well, most of your top riders, like Erie, are going to turn with both feet.
Which is pretty impressive.
so
it's like a switch turn.
Yeah, so they basically can walk to the tail of the board and put either left or right foot towards the back.
And some individuals would just say, you know what, it's better to have your strength, your strong foot back, and be and learn that toe side, that front side turn better. There's Erie number 2 making his way down the last 250 meters there to the finish line. As you see, he's established a really nice gap there. He had clean, smooth water. He's breathing fresh air. Number 2 and 3 though, you can see neck and neck right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could look on the screen, you see the chase pack right behind Erie, but Erie's not letting up. He wants to put down a decent time. He's got so much power in his stroke. So there's your battle for the bubble.
Number 6 is Tillman.
Tillman and Carlo. So Carlo's like, man, I've got about 250 meters to catch Tillman.
Look at this. You can see.
He wants it. Look at the stroke cadence. You know, he's keeping that paddle in the water. So there's Erie finishing.
Erie making his finish number 1 for the second heat of the day. Erie taking the final. Congratulations,
and looks like
Erie.
Jake. Look at Jake. He came all the way back to get second. So let's see here. We'll see the finish. There's Tillman still hammering for that bubble.
It looks like there's not going to be a lead change coming up here. They're all looking.
There we go. That's a shot of Jake crossing. Now is Jake in second.
Jake number 2.
Edwin Cornier in third. And it looks like Tillman's going to hold on to this. And
there we go. Nice job, Tillman. Tillman's from Maryland. He's an East Coaster.
Absolutely. He's a really strong paddler on the East Coast. Maryland has a great paddle community in the Annapolis, Baltimore, Annapolis, D.C. area.
And there we go. There's Carlo with his finish. Carlo, great race. You did not make the bubble there, buddy, but you did phenomenal. Nice work. You've got your top 4 men that are going to be moving in and joining their.
There's your times.
Joining your comrades from
Erie
the first heat.
407.
407. You know what? I'm going to make a prediction that we're going to see a sub 4
in the final.
In the final.
Oh yeah, I'm with that too.
Yeah, 407. I think Erie knew he had a comfortable paddle after that second buoy turn there, and just held on to it. 407 for Erie Tenaru. First place for the second men's heat. Jake Portwood, number 2 at 429. Edwin Cornier at 434. Tillman Meisner at 441. I'm sorry. And Carlo Arias at 4:51. All excellent times. I mean, if you really look at it, these guys were only 50 seconds apart, but it did seem like a lifetime between first.
It does on this course,
and
doesn't
fifth on this course. It looks pretty long. Great job, gentlemen. Nice work. That was our second men's heat. And next up is our chance to see the women take to the course. We've got 2 women's heats coming up next. Pro riders in both of these heats. We've got 1, 2, 6, and 7 females. All right, let's do a little replay here.
See if it shows the start. No, we're gonna go straight to the buoys.
All right,
here.
there's Erie, number 2. Edwin, was that Edwin?
Yeah, that was Edwin in the second position at that
There's
point.
Jake, who
that was Carlo at that point.
Oh, that was Carlo on the first one. Jake was behind.
Jake fell at the start. That was Carlo at that point. And you know what? That's pretty much what caught Carlo. And
that was his weak side turn.
That was his weak side turn. But also what happens at that point is your heart rate spikes. So when you fall and your heart rate spikes like that, it's really hard to recover after that,
Not only that, but you psych yourself out.
Yeah.
You just went in and you have that
Here's
moment.
the start. Nope, that's the start of the first heat. Never mind. That's the start
First heat, there's Mike Wong taking a little initial swim there. He wanted to get his feet wet.
Yeah, that was the start of the first heat.
And the whole body there.
Maybe they'll show us the start of the second heat.
The cool thing, and again, some of the rules if you're new to stand-up paddleboarding, when these guys fall in, which we're going to see plenty of today already, they have 5 strokes that they can do, technically on their knees or some version of not standing, before they have to get to their feet and paddle that 6th stroke. If they take more than 5 on their knees, they can be either have a 10-second penalty, 20-second penalty, or they can even be DQ'd if they advance too
Here's
much.
the start of that second heat. Let's watch this start, Rob. You can see Jake right in the middle.
His board was a little bit. Missed that.
Gosh, I can't even explain what happened there.
It looked like it's just that his paddle did not get in front of him there.
Yeah.
And when you miss your first paddle stroke, these guys are completely leaning forward and pressing down when that paddle first hits the water. So when your paddle misses the water, your body is going to probably go for a swim. All right, let's introduce our ladies here that are standing on the start line. They are all in order, ready to go. I believe from left to right. Yes, we have. You want to do some introductions here, John?
Yeah, sure. In the first lane to your left, you have Caroline Kunzel. She decided to take the distance race off yesterday, so she's more of a sprint technical racer, so she's back at it today. And she's on the far left, followed by Seychelles, who has shown an incredible performance this weekend, taking first in the sprints and in the distance. Looks like next to Seychelles in the middle of the screen is that's Eli Miller.
Yep, we have Eli Miller there.
It's just hard to tell by this camera shot. There we go. There's Eli next to Seychelles. So, yep, Eli is Steve Miller's wife. So we saw Steve in the distance race and finishing third, which is excellent.
Very cool colors on her board there.
Yeah. She's riding the New Freedom. There's the SICRS that Seychelles on there. There's another SICRS, and
number 11.
is number 11
Haley
is Haley Stumble. Yes.
She's an excellent paddler coming out and making her way. Number 5 there. Great job, Haley. Good to see her.
Looks like Kat lined up next to her.
Kat on her Infinity Whiplash, ready to
McElroy? Kat McElroy?
Caitlin McElroy.
Caitlin. And on the far right is Victoria Burgess. Victoria, I believe, finished 5th yesterday in the distance. So obviously Seychelles would be the favorite in this heat. Caroline Kunzel is, like we said, from Denmark, I believe, and she is a sprinter / technical racer. So
Caroline was 4th in the female 200-meter sprints on
yeah,
Friday.
I'd have to put those 2 inside girls as the favorites. But you just never know. It's technical racing.
Yeah, anything's possible. As we've seen so far, we've seen multiple crashes in only 2 races. So, ladies, we do not want any of you to go swimming, but if you do, many of your viewers will enjoy it.
And now, the other interesting thing here is this is our first heat that has 6 competitors. So we're going to have 2 people not make the cut here.
The bubble is 4.
Yep.
Same thing. Top 4 females are going to move forward to the women's female final that will be starting here shortly. They're all trying to calm their nerves. They're trying to stay stay steady. You can see that red line there. That is their guiding line that they cannot walk past.
I believe they still have about 5 minutes till the start. So, if we can go back to a point we were talking about a little bit earlier about the buoy turns, right side, left side, strong side, made me think of Connor Baxter because he's one of the best technical racers in our sport. And there you go. And so if Connor makes his weak side turn, he does a cross bow, but he does it so quickly. He does one cross bow and then one sweep paddle, and he's around the buoy. So he's one of the best buoy turners in the game.
Unbelievable.
Whether it's right or whether it's his strong side or weak side. So I just wanted to bring up that point. You'll see different types of buoy turns for sure. So they can all be beneficial. But I do think, like you said, if you can walk to your board with both feet and switch them up, that's going to be the cleanest.
How ambidextrous are you, and what footwork skills do you have? And that's what's so great about this sport. So many individuals have come into this sport from other sports, and it's such a great crossover sport. So many individuals can learn to stand up paddleboard. We can paddle for years to come, not like we talked about yesterday, not being overly impactful on your body with falls and crashes and things like that. So pretty neat to see.
And we did talk about crossover athletes quite a bit. Isn't Caitlin McElroy a crossover? She, I believe, is a canoe paddler or a kayak paddler, I believe.
She definitely, and I'm pretty sure she's got plenty of podium and medals to her name already. So I'd be nervous standing next to her.
So she's a crossover athlete, and obviously these paddlers that are coming from the other disciplines like C1 and K1, the biggest difference here is not only are you standing, but you have to walk the board, and this is where technical racing is the biggest factor, obviously, is who has the skill to walk the board. So it's going to be interesting to watch, see how she does with the turns. Surfing.
Caitlin's part of USA Canoe and Kayak team.
Okay, there you go.
And not only is that, she's a learning coach and psychology teacher. So maybe she psyched out all her competitors this morning. Keep them on their toes. We'll have to find out what the banter was before they all got to the line.
A lot of times in this technical racing, you'll also see maybe people with a surfing background have a slight advantage just because they're so used to walking the board like we talked. So I know that, like, living in Florida, Seychelles surfs quite a bit. Victoria Burgess is an excellent surfer. I know Eli Miller's out there surfing a lot. So surfing skills definitely play in the factor of a technical race.
You know who also is a surfer is Haley.
Haley's a surfer. Okay.
Haley Stumble is she's part of the Blue Line Surf Tuesday Race League.
Okay.
That's Jeremy Vane's league there.
Okay.
So we'll maybe see some magic footwork here.
From Haley.
From Haley. Haley is number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 over from the left.
There you go.
She's on that red and white SIC.
Yeah, number 5. See how she does. That's going to be exciting.
Okay, the ladies definitely are getting some instructions from their ITOs here, the official umpires that are behind the scenes. They must have a get ready sign because they're all maybe a little false alarm there. Kind of ready, get ready. Maybe they got a 1-minute warning.
Yeah, it's coming up for sure.
Seychelles doesn't seem to be too worried about it.
Seychelles kind of chilling. She's waiting for that 10-second warning.
Okay. Definitely an advantage probably to be Caroline right now on that inside lane just a little bit. We'll see. See if that plays a role here.
This is going to be a fun battle to watch here.
They are ready to get started. They're officially seated, and they are put in those spots. They don't get to choose based on their past paddling experience and history. All right, let's see here. Ready to get started. The women's first heat of the morning at the ICF 2023 World Cup Championship here in not sunny today, Sarasota, Florida. All right, there they go. It looks like they all took a relatively casual approach there. Seychelles in the second to the left, and Caroline getting probably the whole shot. I would say she got the best one, making her way towards that money buoy, that first yellow one. What else are you seeing there? I'm
seeing Caroline on that inside line and taking advantage of it for sure. So she's got the lead. You'll see Seychelles falling behind her.
Right behind her.
Yep, get a clean buoy turn. So you'd rather probably just either get right behind her and make a clean, tight turn rather than have to make a wider turn. Again, these ladies know the top 4 advance. So They just want to make clean turns at
Yep,
this
you're
point.
seeing Haley Stumville here on the back on that red SIC, followed by Caitlin McElroy on the maroon and white Infinity.
Yep, and then Eli Miller, and then Victoria Burgess is in third.
Okay,
you
look at
got-
that. A little bit of
bumping and
rubbing is
rubbing.
racing. Seychelles just not wanting to wait. Saying, you
Look
know
at
what?
Victoria get on the inside. Victoria
right
had a nice
there.
turn. There's Eli Miller making the turn,
A
followed
little
by
wider.
Caitlin on
Let's
her
go a little wider so we
Infinity.
can see what
Nice
they're
turn
doing.
by Caitlin. You know, we were talking about crossover athletes. And there you go. There's Seychelles making her move maybe. It
So
looks like,
in ICF rules, you cannot interfere with the paddler in front of you at the buoy. They do give a little leeway with rubbing is racing, but you cannot interfere. If you hit somebody's board or cause them to fall, you will get a penalty. So there you go. Seychelles and Caroline about to make that right-hand turn. That's their backside turn, both
Yeah.
making that look
that's
really
their
clean.
strong side, so they made it look easy. I believe Victoria's a goofy footer, but she still made it look
She
easy.
still stepped back with
Yeah,
her
I think
left
she
foot
did.
there.
Yeah, so and same with Eli Miller. There you go. So
Eli
those
on
four
her
girls.
toe
And
side turn,
Caitlin,
Caitlin.
little bobble, but she's holding on to it.
She's on an Infinity Whip, and I don't think she's rode that board too many times before. That's a pretty skinny, super fast flat water board, so we're going to see how she handles that
Yeah.
there. And there's Haley Stumville making her turn.
Caitlin's doing a great job on that board. You know, it's like we talked about her being a crossover athlete, so she is doing a fantastic job sitting in fourth place right now, or fifth place, sorry.
There you go. Seychelles, clean turn. She's gained a little bit of space there.
Caroline,
Caroline on that blue and white SIC.
Victoria, you can tell that's Victoria's weak side. See how she did a little
Yep.
cross bow.
A little bit of a crossbow there. Nice
There's Eli,
backside
nice back
sweep
time
turn.
So Eli's in fourth. Caitlin
Caitlin
making
managing that board. She's working hard to move that. There you go. She's learning how to do that pivot turn really nice. Made it happen. And then Haley in the back there. Nice job.
Yeah, flat water boards are definitely a little tougher to turn
And tippier.
in tippier. So
They're meant to go really fast.
it looks like these girls are kind of just trying to be as technically sound as possible at this point. They just don't want to make a mistake, Rob. So the battle's going to be right here where Eli and Caitlin, although Eli looks like she's got a decent little
I
lead
think
on her. We
that's-
haven't seen Caitlin come around the buoy
What do
yet.
you call that red yellow? Is that what's-
little
what's her-
Rasta board?
Yeah, that's a Rastafarian board there. So that Rastafarian board is right on the bubble. Eli officially number 4. She will make it to the final if she can stay in that position.
So you can see that Eli's making another nice backhand turn. I think it's going to stay this way. We have Seychelles in first and Caroline in second. We can see them on the screen, and they're just setting a nice pace at this point.
Yep, and you can see, here we go, here's the great shot of number 4 already making their way back to the finish. That's Eli, and then you have Caitlin making her way to the last buoy. That's number 5. So I'm pretty sure she maybe knows that she is not making that bubble at this point, looking at in 5th
Yeah.
and 6th. And there's
Yeah.
Haley making her turn at buoy 4 and Caitlin at buoy 5. And now it's a 250-meter sprint to the finish. They all seem to be kind of single file here. They're all going to make it to the final. You see Seychelles on your right in the red and white. You see Eli in that's Caroline in the blue and white SIC, followed by, who's number 3 there?
Victoria Burgess
Victoria
and Eli
Burgess
Miller.
and
And
Eli
Eli Miller. Yep. So there's Seychelles making it look easy, doing her thing. She's had a phenomenal weekend. And so she is now going to the final, which I think we were all expecting.
She's mentally preparing for
Yeah.
that finish in the finals right now. She's getting her mind set.
She's on that SICRS, very noticeable red and white, so it's pretty recognizable. And Seychelles is looking smooth and, not going too hard. She's definitely taking it easy, so she's ready for the final.
Excellent finish. Seychelles, your first female finalist here
Yep.
in the first female heat.
Yep, and then followed by Caroline Kunzel in second, and it looks like Victoria Burgess is coming in now for third. And we should see Eli Miller coming onto the screen here any minute, so great job by these ladies. They're all going to qualify. There's Eli. We call her Mama Miller. She's kind of our team mom. She does all the grocery shopping and cooking and helping. It takes somebody like her to really help the team out. So
Takes a tribe to make it happen. Nice job, Eli. Great
job,
finish.
Eli.
Making your way across. She is moving all 4 of those females.
Yep,
Moving
there's
to the
Caitlin.
final. Caitlin finishing out her paddle there, making it happen.
These girls did a great job. Again, we kind of talked about Caitlin being a crossover athlete, and I'm sure in her canoe sports, walking to the tail of a canoe is never really done, I guess.
I don't think so. I don't think
so. She's
when you're sitting, you're definitely not walking very
but,
often.
I have a feeling you give her a little bit of time, and you're going to see her on some competitive races.
Out there crushing it.
Yeah.
There she is making her finish.
Her number just fell off her board, huh?
Oh, boy.
I think that's on the bottom.
Let's see if they're floatable.
I don't know.
I don't see
I wonder
it
how many
floating.
of those numbers at the bottom of this lake. Huh?
All right, here's our official times here as Haley is about to cross the finish line in a second here. Seychelles with 4 minutes and 50 seconds. Caroline at 5:02. Victoria 5:11. Eli Miller 5:25. Caitlin at 6:01. And Haley just crossing the finish line as we see her here right now. There she is.
Nice job, Haley.
All right, there's your final heat time, 6:36 for Haley. Great time.
Yeah, I think those girls all did a really good job. Technically, I think everyone did great. Especially we kind of expected it out of Seychelles and Caroline and even Victoria and Eli, all those girls. But it was a clean race.
Clean race.
I don't know if we get to watch any crashes, do we?
I sure no.
I don't remember any.
Darn it. Well, I guess great job, ladies, for not falling.
Yeah, way to race it clean. Maybe
disappointing.
Give
for
those
us.
boys a lesson.
Okay, so 4 minutes and 50 seconds for Seychelles. We know that was not an all-out sprint for her. What are our predictions here for the final? What do you think our times are going to get to?
I think some of the women you're going to see in that 4:30 range, possibly. These girls, they're tired. They just did a 10K race yesterday, and for any of you guys that watched that 10K race, holy cow, the top 4 to 5, top 4, I guess, was a battle.
That's a great thing. If you have not watched the 10K, we hope you go to YouTube, get on Planet Canoe, get on there. You can also watch it on RHS TV, video on demand. You can watch it in both those locations, and you should for sure watch it from start to finish because, of course, our commentating was just pretty much off the charts. I don't think there's ever been better commentating anywhere in the world. But watching that female finish yesterday at the 10K was absolutely incredible. Let's see if maybe we can get a replay of the start of this female heat here coming up.
Here we go. So it looks like everybody got a clean start. You can see how quickly Seychelles and Caroline got to their feet. Caroline had the whole shot. There's no doubt about that.
You can see that sprint cadence
That's
too.
That sprinter.
She
sprinter.
wanted it.
Yeah,
she wanted that finish.
So it was nice to see them execute a clean start. It was beautiful.
Okay, apparently there was a crash. Maybe we.
I don't know. Let's see if we can get a replay if there was.
We were sleeping at the helm there. Oh, there we go.
It looks like Caitlin honestly, it looked like she just maybe lost a quick focus and weighted a rail too much. It wasn't. She's waiting that right foot and then.
Caitlin, we are sorry that you did fall, but we need at least one crash per race.
Yeah. Actually, we had another fall at the buoy, so there we go.
Oh, look at that.
That's okay. They're human.
Look at that. That was Haley taking a little crash. Okay, see, there you go. We can guarantee fall action at any time during these technical races here. Okay, you can see the ladies lining up already. They are getting ready for their next heat. Next heat's going to go off in about 5 minutes. Let's make just some quick introductions here. We'll go left, right in a little bit. Nemse Garcia, Nia Lee, Trisha Michelle, Fiona Wild, Kim Barnes, Jennifer Flanagan, and my wife, Megan Sanoa. Pretty proud to see her out there again. She was definitely feeling it a little bit from the 10K, and so I'm proud that she's getting out here about to shred it.
Now, without playing favors, who's going to be your winner?
It's got to be Megan Sanoa.
Okay.
I mean, if I say anything else, I might get myself in trouble. So, Megan, I love you, and I hope you have a great race out there. But let's make a couple predictions. I think we're allowed to do that.
Yeah,
Not by me.
I think if you look at this field, it's pretty clear that Fiona Wild and Kim Barnes are going to be in that mix. Kim's finished second in both the sprint and the distance races this weekend so far, and then Fiona.
Number 5 in the 200-meter sprint.
Yeah, Fiona was 5th. Okay, so Fiona 5th, and then
4th in the 10K.
4th in the 10K. So and it's Fiona Wild. So we all know Fiona. She's an excellent paddler from Starboard. I believe she's probably riding. Looks like maybe she's riding a sprint today. Nope, she's on her All-Star. Sorry, that's a sprint next to her. So, got a nice mixture of boards down there. It looks like we have.
Okay, from left to right, you can.
Like got
you
a
can
Starboard there.
There's Nimse Garcia.
Yep.
Nimse is from. She's Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I think she's Puerto Rico.
As well.
Mm-hmm.
You got Nia Lee on her Flying Fish Freedom.
She's out of South Carolina.
She's out of South Carolina, Hilton Head. She was the winner of the Goat Boater race series, I'm proud to say, as I host that series.
Nice
really
job,
great to
Nia.
See Nia having a really wonderful race season. You've got Trisha Michelle on her Starboard sprint right there.
Do you know where Trisha's from?
Trisha Michelle, no, but we're going to
okay.
figure that out because we can figure out. Trisha's from Orlando. She's here. And as a matter of fact, Trisha is raising money for cystic fibrosis. She's going to do the Crossing for the Cure paddle this year. So great job there. Next, you see Fiona jumping up and down there. She's on her Starboard All-Star. That's the all-around board from Starboard for technical races like this.
We have Kim Barnes.
Kim Barnes moving around on her Flying Fish Freedom.
Yep. So, and then we have Jennifer Flanagan, looks like there, also on a Freedom. She's out of Texas, I believe. So
Jennifer Flanagan and Nia Lee, they were kind of neck and neck on the 10K there.
They were. So.
And then there's my very own Megan Sanoa wearing her Goat Boater shirt, that white tank there on her Blackfish, on her Infinity Blackfish 21. Making her Blackfish look good today.
So
3 Stripes Racing, ready to go.
So this is going to be fun because, again, we get the top 4 to advance. So, you have to look at this field and think that Kimberly Barnes and Fiona Wild are pretty much the favorites. Who are going to be the other 2? That's going to be the fun thing to watch, right?
Yep, this is definitely going to be one of those bubble races that we're going to be excited to see. Who is going to make that 4th cut? Who is 5 and 6 and gets a little bit of a longer rest till the next race coming up?
How do you feel like some of these women are feeling, like your wife Megan lining up next to Fiona Wild and Kim Barnes, huh? Do you think it's a pretty exciting?
I think this is the most exciting thing about stand-up paddleboarding.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I can't jump on a basketball court and play against Michael Jordan. Maybe that dates me a bit, but yeah, so the fact that we all get to stand next to the individuals that we love watching and paddling with is such a cool thing in this sport. Megan Sanoa, I know she has her entire Goat Boater crew watching and cheering her on, as do every one of these athletes. I'm sure their family members are watching. As a matter of fact, if you are watching on RHTV or Planet Canoe YouTube page, please give a shout out to who you're cheering for, where you're watching from, maybe the next race that you're going to be at, and give us a holler. If you're rewatching this, athletes, please tell us you're rewatching and how you felt about the race and about Nathan Benderson Park, how amazing this is and why everybody should join you next year for the World Championships coming up next year in the same location. It looks like our females are getting ready to get started. They are within 1 minute. Here we go.
This is where the nerves kick in, Rob.
Yes. Heart rates are up, and everybody's ready to get that clean start, making it to the first buoy. The International Canoe Federation puts on this race, and they have official ITO umpires at every one of these stations. You can see them on the right in the white shirt there, and the starter getting ready to go. Okay, they're getting directions from their starter. They're in place, ready to go. Women's second heat coming at you.
Watch the middle of the screen there. Fiona Wild.
There we go.
Right
Here's the start.
middle.
Fiona Wild right in the middle on her Starboard All-Star, making a clean start.
Nimse with a
Nimse
great
right next to her.
start.
Oh, look at this. Look at this. They're both paddling on the outside.
Nimse with a great start.
Nobody's giving up there.
Rubbin is racing here.
Is that Kim right next to her?
That's Kim right next to her. So you got the 2 starboards banging boards there.
Banging boards.
And
Look
then
at that.
Kim is fighting for that.
Okay,
lead to
Fiona,
the buoy.
Fiona getting out sprinting Nimsay just a little bit, and Kim, look at them neck and neck.
Yeah, this
they
is
both
awesome.
want this money buoy, as we've been talking about. When you get to that first buoy first, the course becomes a little easier. You breathe fresh air, and you don't have to worry about anybody turning around you. But you can see what's going on with 1 and 2. Okay, it looks like Fiona maybe has the right of way here in the front. Kim right next to her doing a sweep turn. Kim on her toe side, Fiona making it around good, Nimsay making it around really good. Let's talk about our last 4 here.
Yeah, it looks like in that
Nia?
fourth
Is that
position
Nia
is
right
Nia.
there?
Yeah, it looks like Nia in that
Okay,
fourth
Nia's
position.
on the bubble right now.
Followed by Trisha Michelle, I believe.
Trisha on the
and
All-Star.
then Jennifer and Megan.
Jennifer and Megan, 5 and 6 right
Let's
there,
see how they go.
making their way around. There we go, sprinting
Nice
their
job,
way out.
ladies.
Get going.
Nice job. There we go. Nice recovery. So there's your leader. So you got Fiona and Kim Barnes kind of picking up a little draft on her. And again, like
Nimsay,
and
one board
Nimsay in
length
third.
behind in
Yeah.
number 3.
So like we talked about, these girls are probably pretty confident they're going to advance, so they don't want to make any mistakes at this point.
Yep, smooth crossbow turn
Yeah.
by Fiona.
That's
and
Kim's
backside
strong
turn by
side.
Kim,
Yeah,
looking good.
she's-
Nimsay as well, moving up on board. Nimsay, I believe she was just in the APP tour, or last one of the races there, and did really great. Let's see if we can.
Yeah, Nimsay had a great start. That was fun to watch.
Nimsay Garcia is only 23 years old. She's a surfer, and she was at the World SUP Championships, finishing 10th in SUP surfing.
There you go.
For the
That's-
ISA World SUP
So
Championships.
that's a stand-up paddleboard crossover coming over from the SUP surfing
Yep,
side.
and
But
18th in the technical there. She's from Puerto Rico.
and we talked about how surfing definitely benefits this technical racing, and she's showing it with her footwork now. So
You can see even that cross step. It's such a beautiful step right there when you can cross your feet over. Definitely a surfer-inspired move.
Yeah.
But, man, it moves you up and down the board pretty cool. So there's Nia Lee making the third buoy turn. She is on the bubble right now. She's going to make it in if she can hold that position. And it looks like all 3 ladies right here in about the same position here.
yeah, it still looks like Trisha Michelle, followed by Jennifer and Megan. They're all tight right there.
Number 3, Trisha Michelle. Number 6.
One of those ladies has got to go track down Nia if they want to get into this final. So right now it looks
Let's
like
go.
Nia is
Let's go,
sitting in that
ladies.
final position.
Nia's kind of right in the middle. The front 3, there's our top 3 again, making their 5th buoy turn. They now have 250 meters to the finish line, all 3 of them making another clean turn again. Fiona Wild in the front on that orange nose board there. Kim Barnes and Nimsay in number 3. There's Nia entering the screen on your right, about to get to her 5th buoy. And there's our 3 ladies
Yeah.
right behind her.
Looks like your wife Megan made a little
Trisha,
position
Megan
there.
moving from
she-
6th to 5th,
Yeah.
moving in front of Jennifer. A little bit of a position change going on there. Great job, Megan.
So good job by those girls, and you can see Nimsay on the screen there on their final leg. So Nimsay sitting in 3rd. Let's see if we can get some clean
All
turns
right,
here.
Trisha Michelle, this is her back side. That's her strong side. This is Megan's toe side. This is her weak side, doing a crossbow right there. And then you have Jennifer Flanagan right behind number 6, making her crossbow. It looks like her maybe weak side a little bit as well. We'll see. Megan sprinting out of there. Maybe she's going to try to take it. Let's see, Megan, what you can do. She was tired from the 10K yesterday, but she has 250 meters of glory to see if she can take the lead. She was in 5th, or she was in 5th. Wait, what's her position?
I think she came from the back, honestly. She was in 7th, and now she's in 5th. So,
Nice job, Megan.
yeah, there you see Fiona and Kim Barnes finishing here soon.
Fiona Kim taking a nice ride into
Yeah.
the finish. They know-
Synchronized paddling there, Rob.
Yeah, very nice. That should be a new sport.
So-
Synchronized.
So there you see those ladies crossing the line now, 1st and 2nd. So,
Number 1, Fiona Wild. Number 2, Kimberly Barnes.
and there's
And number
Nimsay.
3, making her way to the finish, Nimsay. Excellent racing. There's 3. We're still waiting for the bubble to come through here.
Yeah, there's Nimsay finishing now, and so we've got our 4th place person coming who's going to qualify. That's Nia Lee. She's being chased down by those 3 ladies there, but they're not going to have enough real estate to catch
I think they're a little bit
Nia.
short. Megan, though, I think that, they're in the race. There's Nia Lee, number
There's
2.
Nia.
She is going to most likely be number 4. I don't think there's enough room for the last 3 ladies to catch up. But you know what? They are racing. Let's see 5, 6, and 7 here. There they are. There's Megan on the blue 3 Stripes Racing Infinity Blackfish. You have Jennifer Flanagan. That she's making a move. They're racing right now. It doesn't matter for 4th. It's a race out sprint. Let's watch that race there. Look at them. They're both going out. Megan digging deep.
There is pride on the line
There's
here,
pride
Rob.
on the line. I don't know. Jennifer Flanagan's right there.
Jennifer does not want to give up.
They're not going to go. Let's go. Let's see what you got, ladies.
Let's see. This
Megan
is
Canoe on the
exciting.
far side. Jennifer Flanagan looks like she's creeping up just a little bit.
I'm giving it to Megan, baby.
Megan Canoe for the win.
Oh, my goodness.
Of
That
number
was fun.
5.
That was fun. That was fun.
Great job, Megan and Jennifer, keeping it exciting. Look at that, 6 minutes, 10 seconds for both of them. Tricia Michelle making her final way across the finish
So
line.
there's our times, Rob. If you look at Fiona's time, right?
1 second faster
1
than
second. Yeah, so they're both sort of
Seychelles
in
right
that
there.
same range there. So we're going to see. This is going to be a fun final to watch.
So number 1, Fiona Wild at 4 minutes and 49 seconds. Kim Barnes at 4:51. Nimse Garcia at 5:06. Nia Lee 5:46. Those 4 are moving on to the women's final in an hour from now. Megan Sanoa just missing the bubble. Made it to number 5. Good job, Megan, at 6:10 with her sprint finish with Jennifer Flanagan at 6:10. Look at that. It was 0.4
That's
tenths of
exciting.
a second difference. Pretty cool. And Tricia Michelle right behind them at 6:24. Great racing, ladies. Making it look good and keeping it exciting for us. Okay. Well, if you are watching, hopefully you were excited to see that as well. I think we are going to be able to get a couple replays here. And everybody's taking a little bit of a break.
There's your
a
start. So you can see Fiona and Kim and Nimse clean starts. Nimse had a great start.
You know, I think this is worth talking about. Look at them just rubbing, just left and right,
Yeah,
both paddling on the opposite sides.
Yeah, there's no violations there or anything, so it's fine. There's no interference. That's gonna happen. But yeah, it was Rubbin's racing for sure.
Rubbin is racing. That's a prime example of it. They're both going to be fine there, but pretty cool to see Nimse following right behind. All right, look at we got some animals on the course here.
There you go. There's Fiona and Kim cruising in.
Yep, cruising in.
They know well that they're qualifying. So there's our spectator on the course there. That great white heron
Can't say
there.
we didn't have spectators.
So,
All right, we got the drone in front of us saying hi to us. Hello
Yeah.
there, drone shot.
I'm wondering if that's Erie messing around is what I'm wondering.
There, look at, you can see him down there. Yes, hey, drones.
You know, when I see that, I have to think of Erie because he's the only one crazy enough to put his drone that
Yeah,
close.
I can see him down there
So,
running the remote control
Yeah,
there.
he's zipping away. So that's going to be a fun little shot to watch, Rob. So
These are all our safety boats. I think really important to note that there is so much safety on this course. That's really important. We have a full medical team and staff here supporting us. Let's give a little shout out to our sponsors. Visit Sarasota, Benderson Development, Shoemaker, Bradenton Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. Without these sponsors, this race just couldn't happen. Sarasota, Bradenton International Airport, Sarasota County, and Manatee County. The mall at University Town Center that we drive through every day coming here and talk about a lot of shops. If you had a shopping addiction, this is the place to be. ABC 7 and My Coast Sarasota Memorial Urgent Care Centers. We're also pleased to have our food vendors here. We've got Smoothie King and Papa Stack Food Shack and some of our partners, the American Canoe Association and the International Canoe Federation, all here hanging out as well. You can't have a race without volunteers, without umpires and technical officiants, without our race director, KT, without all of our bigwigs coming here from the ICF and the ACA that we've been able to hang out with. And, of course, this beautiful Nathan Benderson Park. If you are anywhere around the Sarasota area and you are not out here enjoying these facilities. There are beautiful water facilities. This is an international Olympic canoe and kayak event. There's a beautiful 5K walking trail around this entire lake. There's a big playground over there. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure my kids are probably over there right now. Doing some playing there, and there it is.
There's a shot. There's where we're at. There, you can see from that flag.
America.
Not only America, but look at that wind. There's some wind out there. You don't see it on the surface of the water, but that flag's definitely moving. So.
John, one of the things that I heard from the athletes yesterday as we were talking, even some of our locals just saying like, it was toasty.
Yeah.
And humidity, playing a huge role. Now, I know you're from down here, so you're immune to those things. But when you're coming from Maryland and Oregon and California, they don't understand humidity. I don't even understand humidity, and I'm in South Carolina. So it's definitely, it makes everything feel a little heavier.
Absolutely.
It makes you feel just a bit slower in the water. Your heart rate is up a little bit higher than you're used to while racing the same, but you're looking at that beautiful Nathan Benderson Park.
Yeah, I spoke about it earlier, but Peter from Nova Scotia, somewhere northern Canada, so that humidity here is definitely a factor.
They have humidity that gets to 15%.
Yeah,
3 times per summer, one time per month, in June, July, and August, and then it snows. Yeah,
it plays a factor for sure. They, the athletes that have the ability to train in this on a regular basis have an advantage. So. But it's going to be hot and humid in Thailand next month. So for the guys racing in Thailand, they better get used to it because it's not going to be cool in Thailand.
Yeah, if you are looking for a great place to travel and a bucket list item for many of us, John and I will both be there as well. Thailand, the ICF World Championships, which this led up to, we actually picked some of the USA team riders from our races here so far that will be representing Team USA out in Pattaya, Thailand, November, 19, 20, 21, somewhere around there, middle of November. I'm going to be there for 2 weeks, enjoying that beautiful country. But if you're looking for 700 racers, that's the place to be. We're going to take a little break, and we will be back roughly back here in just a little bit. 10:40.
This is what we're going for.
The lighter side of sports.
JP looks like a hobo. I can't remember ever thinking, I need to look in the stands.
See, I was younger and single, so I was looking at the
Oh my God!
Very nice. RHS TV. Are you looking to harness the power of video to get your message out? Now you can effectively connect to your target audience across all platforms for the best price anywhere. We will produce your commercial and advertise your business for just $500 per month for 1 year. You will not find a lower cost or higher value than RHS TV, connecting Tampa Bay.
Youth News Network, for Gen Z, by Gen Z. From the RHS TV studios, we're bringing you the freshest content that matters to you. Find us on social media at WatchYNN or watch full episodes on RHS TV.
All right, we are back, and I think we've got a really great highlight reel coming up This was our third day. Races started on Friday with 200-meter sprints. Athletes, really, most were here on Thursday, getting checked in and getting used to the course. Friday was our 200-meter sprints. Saturday was our 10K, and today is the Tech Finals. These are some highlight reels that we're going to...
It looks like Jake Portwood taking the win on his first heat.
200-meter sprints. There's
Yep,
Erie.
and then Erie taking his win, followed by Andrew, it looked like, in second on that heat, and Bodie on the inside. So here's some women. That looks like Carolyn Kutzel and Seychelles.
Kim Barnes on the far end.
Yeah, Kim Barnes. So Packett Casey, one of your masters. That's just a warm-up. I think he's warming up out there, but
That's what a pivot
it's just
turn
great
looks
to see.
like.
That's a
There
good
you go,
pivot turn.
toe-side pivot turn.
It's like Steve Miller taking home the victory there for the men's sprint masters, and this is our distance race yesterday.
Look at
Rob.
those beautiful drone shots going around the bend there. They had a nice little loop.
That was early in the race when Erie was letting the boys play with them for a little bit before he decided to turn on the afterburners. But yeah, that was a start of the race coming through that beautiful canal.
Pretty cool. It's a really cool little canal around there, and it's going to make for an amazing world championship race coming up next year. There's Erie.
He had a phenomenal performance yesterday on the distance, and I think we're going to see some of the women coming up here shortly. But we talked about Erie's form and technique and all those things that play into distance racing. So what a show by Erie this whole weekend so far, taking first in the sprints and the distance.
I think there's a headstand coming up here.
There
it is. There it is, headstand.
He was
With
told
this,
no headstand till
I
after.
think, was this the female finish maybe?
This is the female finish, so
Oh, this was such an amazing finish. If you didn't watch it, go back and watch it right now. But Seychelles, Kim Barnes, Stephanie Schidler, and Fiona Wild just going at it for those
and
last
there's
250
Seychelles
meters.
taking the win. So that gives Seychelles also the victory in both the distance and the...
This was our start.
This
and I
was
think-
our start.
Didn't you say that Kim went in
Kim
somewhere here?
did fall in. I
think
didn't
we missed
catch it on that video, but yeah, that was the start of the distance. So
That's when Erie first took the gap.
yeah,
Took the lead.
So it's
or
interesting, Rob.
Broke the gap from Jake Portwood.
It's interesting, Rob, because right now we have both male and female athletes that have won first in the sprints and the distance. So we had Seychelles and Erie have won first in both. So-
Let's just say, I mean, could it be a hat trick? As they say in hockey, they're both currently set up for the finals for the
Yeah.
Tech race. This
Yeah.
could be a three-peat.
There was our final paddler from yesterday's distance, 80 years,
80 years old.
And, man, it was great to hear the crowd cheering him on as he came in. So that was awesome.
I only hope that
do-
when I'm 80 years
Do we
old,
still have the sheet from
I
yesterday?
will be over to see that one. We'll have
Yeah,
to
that
figure
was
out.
that was awesome. That was so good to see everyone on the, looks like Jeffrey Holloway.
Jeffrey Holloway, 80 years old, making his way around the 10K course, and
that was really
and going for it. Okay, well, we are going to take a little break. We are going to figure out our time sheets, and we're going to find out what the rankings are going to look like and what the placements are looking like for the finals coming up at 10. Coverage continues at 10:45 a.m. Eastern Time, wherever you're watching from around the world. At 10:45, we will start the junior finals, followed by the men's finals at 11. At 11:15 a.m. Eastern Time, the women's finals will be going at it for the last race of their weekend, followed by the men's finals for all the glory, seeing who can maybe take a three-peat here and what's going on. Come on back and see us. Again, go get some coffee. Go get yourself set up. We look forward to seeing you here in less than 40 minutes. We will be back live with all live coverage action here from the ICF 2023 World Cup Championships. See you soon. Welcome back to the 2023 ICF World SUP Cup. We are here in beautiful Sarasota, sunny Florida at Nathan Benderson Park. And if you are rejoining us, we are right about ready to start our junior championship coming up. This is a one-race final. On your left, you see Gerald Cornier, and on your right, you see Mason Colbert, and they are getting ready to fire it up. We determined Mason is 14, right, John?
Mason's 14 years old out of Wrightsville Beach. And
there they go. And Gerald is
18 from Aguadilla, Puerto Rico.
Nice. Mason is from Wrightsville Beach,
they both
North Carolina.
Both nice, clean starts. You know, I think Gerald is obviously the favorite in this, just being a few years older, and it's really awesome to see Mason out here hammering at 14 years old and giving it his all. So
absolutely. Mason, both these gentlemen have a chance to represent Team USA in the junior division coming up in Thailand in November in the junior USA championship. Or the World Championship, but they could represent Team USA. So that would be interesting if we could get those guys there.
Yeah, let's see the technique here. That looks like that's Gerald's weak side, so he got around nice and clean. Here's Mason.
Made it look pretty good.
Also a weak side for Mason, so he did that cross bow paddle with a sweep on the outside. So both boys get around the first buoy
so
clean.
So cool watching him just run up the board. It's like a Connor, jump to the front. Like, oh, whatever, I'm just going to walk around this 21-inch wide board.
I think at that age, actually, Mason's on a 19.4 inches wide, I believe, and Gerald is on a 21 and a quarter, I believe. So he's borrowing Kim Barnes' board for this event, or one of her boards.
That's Gerald on your screen right there.
Yeah, that's Gerald on the screen there.
It's pretty safe to say I think there are very few 19-inch wide boards in there. They exist, but I still don't. Starboard had the 1975 that a lot of gentlemen were riding. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
You have to be a pretty good athlete to ride.
Oh yeah, I mean the thing about Mason is, fortunately for him, he rides our boards, which are custom built, so we can make them 18 inches wide if you want, but it's hard to fit a board to someone Mason's size, right? So if you put Mason on a stock 14-foot board, it's going to be a huge board for him. So that board was designed for a paddler around 110 pounds, so he's making it look easy. He's got great balance. These kids are amazing when it comes to just their balance.
His toe side turn there. And that's what it really is about. If you don't have balance and you're on a 19, 20, or 21-inch wide board, life's going to be a little more challenging.
A little bobble there. But, Gerald's making it look easy as well. They both are surfers. Gerald being from Aguadilla, Puerto Rico, which is a huge surf community. And then Mason Kober lives in Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina, and is also a surfer. So both these guys have that surfing background, and they're showing their skills pretty well here.
Making it look good. There's Mason on turn 5, and there's Gerald on, turn 4, and Gerald on turn 5 here, making his final turn. He has 250 meters to the sprint finish. He looks like it's pretty safe to say, I think Gerald is going to be our number 1 here, Mason number 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately for us, I don't think we're going to get any splash highlights out of this group.
No, I don't think any splash highlights today. This was the same order. Both of these gentlemen were in the 200-meter sprint. They followed the same order. And then the 10K results, we're going to have to look up where they were at as far as the 10K.
Yeah, Gerald, I believe, is probably somewhere in that 12th to 15th position, if I had to guess. I don't really remember off the top of my head if there is an overall result somewhere. But both these young men have bright futures, and Gerald will be in the Open next year because he's 18. So this is going to be his last year as a junior.
Into the big boys club.
Yeah. So
yeah, interesting on a side note of Olympic committee type stuff, your age is based on the year your birthday was in.
Okay.
So, for example, to be in a world championship, you have to be 15 years old for ICF. Mason's only 14.
Yep.
But his birthday falls in December of this year.
Oh.
Therefore, they will consider him
a 15-year-old.
A 15-year-old because he qualifies before the end of the year. So if Mason is able to find a ticket to Thailand. He could be representing Team USA in the Elite Junior Division this year, which would be pretty cool to see.
That would be an incredible.
Kiddos.
That would be an incredible experience for someone like Mason.
Oh my
wouldn't
goodness,
it?
that would be so cool. There's
Yeah.
Gerald crossing the finish line, first place junior male.
Yeah, let's see what Gerald's time is. This is going to be fun to see. And then now you got Mason there. Apparently his back has some flexibility that mine does not. I'm not sure. I see a lot of young paddlers do that. I don't know how healthy that is for the long term, but
Well, as a doctor of chiropractic, thanks for that lead in there, John.
yeah.
My day job, when I take my commentating Superman costume cape off, I'm going to go to work on Monday, and I'm going to take care of a whole lot of patients.
yeah.
Work on their nervous system and spine.
What do you think about that?
I think Mason is probably a really great candidate to get some regular corrective care so he can be keeping at his best. 4 minutes and 43 seconds for Gerald, 5 minutes 20 seconds for Mason. Those are some excellently fast times.
Yeah,
for
so
these.
that puts things in perspective a little bit. So Gerald was right around the women's time, right? Actually, 7 seconds faster
Yeah, from those first
from the
heats.
first heats. Now we're going to see the women's final. We'll see the women's final, obviously, a bit faster, but.
We were talking to Erie on the break, and he said he's definitely going for the sub
4 minutes.
4 minute mark
Yeah.
here. So we're gonna see what we have coming up here.
There's a nice clean start by the guys. Again, when they're young, they seem to jump on the board with ease.
Yep.
A lot of them, their knees don't even touch the board.
Great a
So-
little staggered stance there
Yeah.
by Mason. His back foot a little bit farther
Yeah.
behind than his front foot. That's that
You
surfing
know.
background that they have.
For someone like Mason, it's just going to be time, right? He's 14 years old. He needs to put on some size, a little bit of muscle, and he, you know, I always try to encourage him because it is hard to stay motivated at that age when you don't have other kids to compete with. Although the Wrightsville Beach area has been great for junior paddling, Campbell Carter is out of that area, and I know that their coach had a junior SUP club for a long time, and I think the club is still there. It's, you know, not quite as active as it was a few years ago.
Yeah,
but
the junior elite team in Wrightsville Beach.
Yeah.
They've turned out some really great riders. How about you? How easy is it here in Florida? You said you've got a pretty good scene. I mean, we work hard to get kiddos into this sport because let's just be honest, the barrier of entry is a little more challenging. One, you have to have water.
Yep.
And two, unfortunately, a lot of these boards are not exactly, $30.
Right,
So it's a
yeah.
little more challenging than basketball or soccer to get kids into the sport, but we're working hard to do it. What are you seeing, John?
I think the biggest challenge is definitely the things you mentioned, as well as, like I said yesterday, so many other sports being offered. It takes a really supportive parents, you know. So, example, Gerald and his brother Edwin, who's in the open race. We'll see him in the open final here in a minute. You know, Gerald and Edwin, their dad is, you know, huge supporter, travels with them, makes sure they get to the races. So it's a big commitment by the parents as well. So it takes support from the family and obviously a little financial support, but we need to get these kids out there for sure.
If you've got some kiddos, we would love to make sure that you get them connected with a local club, so on and so forth, that you can get your kids into the sport. It's such a wonderful sport, and it's highly encouraging, and it's a great athletic sport to get some fresh air and oxygen and even a little independence. There's something to say about when you can snowboard down a hill and go wherever you want, or you can paddle on the water and kind of go wherever you want. I think it develops character and creates some independence. You're seeing on the screen the men's technical masters coming up. John, you want to do some introductions before we see some highlights?
Yeah, we can do that if real
quick,
quickly.
what
It looks like
400
Steve Miller, who's I would say your favorite because he's won the Masters men's sprint and the men's Masters distance. He was actually third place yesterday in the distance, even though was classified as a master, so did not get recognized as third. But obviously Steve's your favorite here, followed by Steve Bernstein and James Welch with James Nickerson as well. I haven't met James yet. I haven't seen him down on the start line warming up, but I'm sure he's down there somewhere.
It looks like Ben Bailey is not going to be joining us this
morning. Ben is not joining us, yes. So I see the three guys I know down there.
They're going to be coming up in about 5 minutes.
This is going to be a competitive race. All three of these guys are extremely fast. Steve Bernstein, I believe, was fourth yesterday in the Masters, and James Welch was third in the Masters. So James was third, Steve was fourth. So we don't have Packet Casey here today. He was the distance second place.
Let's. We've got a little replay action for you guys to check out this morning. Let's see what we got here.
Looks like the first heat, Omelv had the cleanest start. It looked like a few of the guys were not ready at the start. I don't know if you caught that, but
I did hear from one of the technical advisors that they were working hard to make sure they gave 1 minute and 30 seconds warnings, but I think on one of the races they might have went right to.
So there's Omelv
right
and
to the start.
Bodie first and second in that heat. So then here's your second heat. Erie Tenario, Jake Portwood falls at the start. Remember that?
Yep.
Had to fight his way back, and then
Nice
we
little
had
crash coming.
we
here.
had a fall by Carlo at the first buoy.
Yep,
So
getting caught up in some traffic there.
and Erie taking that heat pretty uncontestedly, but women's heat, first women's heat. This was the one with Seychelles and Caroline.
Seychelles Caroline got the smooth finish. Nimsey right behind, all a little bit bottled up, maybe at that first buoy with those two.
Yeah.
And then
No,
Seychelles.
Nimsey was in the next one, so that's Victoria Burgess.
Victoria
in
Burgess
third.
right behind.
Yeah. And
Seychelles kind of took the lead right here at buoy number 2, and that remained the same distance.
Yeah. So that's the
That was
heat.
Caitlin doing
Yeah.
a little swim.
So, and then Eli Miller wrapped out the top 4 on that heat. So those girls are all going to be in the final coming up here shortly. And then in the final women's heat, here's the start of the final women's heat with Fiona Wild, Kim Barnes, and Nimsey. They got off to a great
Rubbing
start.
his racing
Yeah.
right there, pretty cool.
And you see Fiona there making it look easy, followed by Kim, Nimsey. Those 3 qualified, along with Nia Lee, I believe, rounded up that top 4.
Yep, top 4.
So there's Fiona and Kim Barnes crossing the finish line.
That's your 1 and 2 in their first heat. They will be coming up here soon. There's our spectator. If you are just joining us, or you fast forwarded, if you're watching the replay later on, this is the course that we're doing. This is a 5 buoy turn technical stand-up paddleboard race. Roughly 800 meters, I think we've found out. It is just a smidge shy of that, and they're going to have some record times because of that. All those green buoys are left turns. The orange buoys, obviously, right turns. And from that last 5th green buoy, it's about 250 meters. They all did a 200-meter sprint on Friday, and they are redoing their 250-meter sprint after that last buoy turn today to the finish for glory. We are in the finals. It doesn't get any more exciting than this. We've just had our junior finals here, and we are moving into the men's master. They are on the line. It looks like they are getting set up. We see 3 individuals there, and they're kind of ready to go. Let's make some announcements. How do we only have 3? What's happening?
Looks like James Nickerson was a no-show. So we have Steve Miller on the inside, followed by Steve Bernstein in the middle, and Jamie Welch on the far right. These guys are all from the Jupiter area. They're all good buddies. They train together, they paddle together, so this is going to be interesting to watch. Let's see. Looks like they're getting ready.
How tall is Jamie?
Jamie is 6'4".
7'19", I think, something like that.
Jamie is 6'4".
I was just standing next to him, and I looked up.
Yeah, he just turned 50 as well as Miller. Bernstein has him by about a year, so you see Miller with the whole shot. I mean, that's
says,
the
okie dokie, sayonara. Let's get this done.
Bernstein's going to try to stay on this bump as long as possible. Jamie is strong in the flat water, so when Jamie gets a little distance, he can really put it down. So we'll see if he can make it around these buoys clean, and if he does, the buoy turns flawlessly. You're going to see quite a battle between Steve and Jamie, I think. Miller is a legend, man. He's the Masters legend, if you ask me. He can compete with the big boys, and you're going to see some fast times from Miller, because even though this is the only final, he wants to put down a good time, I'm sure.
And there he is, first around the buoy.
Yep, all 3 of those guys. Look. Oh, man, we just had a fall by Bernstein. So Jamie just snuck around the outside.
Steve Bernstein going down.
So there you go. Let's see if he fights his way back behind. If he can get on Jamie's draft. Yeah, James Welch. Yep, sorry. James. Yeah, you can see there. That
Okay,
the
so
guys
lead
are-
change, third to second. Big Jamie making his way into the number 2 silver position. This is the final, so really
Yeah.
it's all on the line for these guys right
Yeah,
now.
absolutely. As long as Miller doesn't make any mistakes on the turns, he's going to take this thing home. So
Nice
we'll
clean
see.
turn by Steve
We'll
there.
see who gets the second and third, who gets the bragging rights. Big Jamie, that's his weak side turn. You can see it's a little wide. Bernstein,
Same thing.
same thing, weak side turn. So these guys are both regular footed, as we talked about earlier, with their left foot forward.
When you're in that third place position there, John, you've been in finals like these before. I mean, are you crushing it? Are you going for it? Do you know you just need to stay in position and you hope somebody maybe takes a swim? What do you
No,
get?
I mean, you're definitely going for it. If you have to be aggressive and not make a mistake. I mean, if somebody makes a mistake in front of you, absolutely you're going to capitalize on it. But I don't think anyone's hoping for anyone to fall. Let's see if Bernstein can get a clean backside turn here. So
Yeah, nice smooth
Yeah.
pivot turn there.
that's going to haunt Bernstein there, that turn, that fall on that first buoy. So we'll see if he can make up some ground, but it's got a ways
How far
to
of a
go.
drive home does he have?
It's a 3.5 hour
Okay,
drive.
well,
so.
he's got 3.5 hours of some thoughts
Yeah.
that will be going through his head there. Still making it look really good in
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3 here.
There's Jamie Brown in the fourth buoy now, with Bernstein's not too far behind, 3 or 4 board lengths. And let's see here if we can get to Miller coming down the home stretch soon. Let's see if he's in the screen. You can see Miller coming on your screen any minute. There he is. So,
Let's see if these guys make their turns. If they do, we might know the order.
yes, it looks like if Jamie gets around this buoy clean, he's going to take second. So there you go. I don't see
pretty good.
anything changing from here.
Nope. So there are your first 1, 2, and 3. Steve Miller just moving. There he is. Steve Miller making his 250-meter sprint to the finish line for your men's masters. Getting there in a minute, followed by Jamie Welsh and Steve Bernstein, number 3.
So how do you think Steve's feeling right now compared to that sprint finish yesterday at the
I
final?
think he's feeling way better right now.
Way better right now. Him and Bodie were battling it out on this last stretch, if you remember yesterday.
If you don't know what we're talking about,
Yeah.
you need to go rewatch the 10K men's final.
Absolutely.
Because those guys, they not only did a 10K, but they decided to sprint for 200 meters at the end, and they were just nose to nose. It was an all-out war.
Yeah,
that
it's going to be
occurred.
interesting to see their times. I'm curious to see where they finish on this time. So
You know, there's definitely, Steve, again, he wants bragging rights when he talks to his boys that are
Yeah.
in the men's technical. He wants a good
absolutely,
time still.
he wants to see. Well, he wants to see where he would have fallen in that give or take. Because he had a decision to make. Do I sign up for Open? And there he is finishing the finish
There he
line
is.
now. He had to decide, do I do the Open? Do I do the Masters? And he chose Masters. He chose well. He's taken first place in all 3 disciplines. Not a surprise to me. I know him well. And there's Big Jamie coming across the finish
Number
line.
2, Jamie Welch.
Yeah, Big Jamie actually works at the factory for us.
Nice.
If you paddle a flying fish board, it's a really good chance that Jamie laminated your board.
There you go.
So
If you see a 7-foot person in there, you'll know
Yeah.
it's Jamie.
And
here's
it's
Steve Bernstein.
Steve Bernstein.
Coming number 3, your men's Masters over 50 division 4:23.
Okay.
That's a spectacular time.
Yeah,
4:39
it's a good time.
for Jamie there, and
Yeah.
Steven at 4:57, making it look really great.
yeah, so these guys will look at these times, and so will the juniors, right? So Gerald's going to look at that and say, "Man, I was right there where Jamie was," and so it's fun that we have the times. So
I was looking back. Gerald, our junior racer that we just saw on his 10K was 1 hour and 9 minutes.
okay,
And Mason was 1 hour and 20. That 1:09, I mean, that definitely put him right up there.
yeah, he was somewhere in that
Put him right
Mid-
up there.
teens. I don't have to see the results, but yeah, Gerald has a bright future. His brother Edwin, who I said earlier you're going to see in the men's final, Edwin's been a huge surprise at this event, I think. Finishing, I believe 5th in the sprints. It was Gerald 5th in the sprints, or Edwin. Sorry, I keep
Edwin was number 7.
Oh, 7 in the sprints.
In the 200 meter.
Okay.
And he was 4.
4
in the 10K.
Gotcha. Okay, so I was wrong. He just had a really good semifinal, or a really good heat. His
Great
first
showing,
heat.
nonetheless. And here comes some replays here that would be good to get to catch for a second.
Yeah, there's your start. You can see Big Jamie at 6'4", you know, gingerly entering the water, knowing that once he gets in the water, he's down, he's got his power. Yeah, so you can see him put that paddle down. Miller with that super high cadence, really clean. Miller has some of the best board skills you're going to see for any age. So, again, that surfing background.
There we go. There's Steve taking a little swim there.
Yeah, there you see. He just weighted the rail too much, and like you said, he made a splash, not a crash.
That's right. That's right. Saving his body.
Yeah, and then that's Miller finishing across the line there, so for the win.
Excellent work. Huge shout out again to all the sponsors. Visit Sarasota, Benderson Development, Shoemaker, Braderton Area Convention and Visitors Bureau, Sarasota, Braderton International Airport, Sarasota County, Manatee County, the mall at University Town Center, ABC 7, My Sun Coast, and Sarasota Memorial Urgent Care Centers. Hey, if you are with us and you are watching live, make sure you give a shout out to where you're watching from and who you're cheering from, because this is it. This is for all the marbles right now. We have 2 more heats to round out our weekend for the ICF SUP Cup in Sarasota, Florida, and here is your starting list. Eli Miller, Nimse Garcia, Kimberly Barnes, Fiona Wild, Seychelle, Caroline Kunzel, Victoria Burgess, and Nia Lee. Top 4 from their first heats, and they are going to go neck and neck. They are all on the line, and they realize they probably have a couple minutes. We are maybe 5 minutes or so out before the start, and they are calming their nerves. What do you think about this one, John?
Well, I think this one is, it's hard to say that it's not going to be Seychelles the favorite. I mean, she's won the sprint, she won the distance, she's clearly back in form, so
going for the hat trick.
Yeah, she's going for the hat trick, so that's going to have a little extra motivation. But then you got Kim Barnes, who was second behind Seychelles in both of those technicals, or the sprint and the distance, and by like half seconds.
It's fair to say she wants it.
So she has a lot of motivation. But you know, you got to believe that middle of the pack. If you see Kim Barnes, Fiona Wild, Seychelles, and Caroline Kunzel, those are going to be your top 4 favorites. Nimse Garcia had a great start, if you remember it. So we can see Nimse, I believe Victoria Burgess was 3rd in her heat. So, but those top 4 ladies in the middle, I believe, are going to be your favorites. I'm not going to call a winner because I'm biased. So, but
all right, you can get a glimpse of your favorite female hero here.
Yeah,
from
so that's
left to right.
Eli Miller on the front there with the flying fish as well.
Mama Eli with her Rastafarian board there.
Second there next to Eli, that is Nimse.
Nimse.
Yeah,
we should say where they're from, Kim.
Yeah, Nimse's from Puerto Rico. She decided to ride a flying fish in this final, so I'm stoked about that.
Yeah, nice
she
job.
She made a
Nimse.
little quick switch over on that board, so we'll see how
We've
that.
got Kim Barnes,
and then
from the state of Florida.
Yes, down Hope Sound area. Fiona Wild, Hood River.
Yep, way out on the west coast there, representing Team USA coming up here soon, next month.
There's your champ so far this weekend is Seychelles.
Seychelles, also a Floridian.
Yeah, Seychelles out of Melbourne, Florida, so just up the East Coast.
Caroline Kunzel.
Yeah, Caroline Kunzel there. Also did a board switch. Looks like she's riding the RS this heat.
There you go, jumping on an SIC.
Yeah, she's still on the SIC, obviously, but she switched to the RS, so a little strategy move maybe. And there's Victoria Burgess. And then wrapping out the field on the far right, your local South Carolina resident, Nia Lee from Beaufort, right? Did I say that right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yep. So this is going to be a fun heat. I mean, these women all weekend have put on a show, so we're going to see. I don't expect anything different here. So let's see.
You know, of note, Caroline Kunzel, she's from Denmark.
Yeah, from Denmark.
Definitely
yeah,
rounding out a large international field that we've had here this weekend. Victoria she's nearby, is that right?
Yeah, Victoria is also from that.
Yep.
She lives in Fort Pierce, which is just north of Stewart. So
We've had 5, 6, 7 plus countries here, multiple states from east to west coast. Definitely the crowd is starting to surround the women here, and they're getting excited. The energy is high, and this is what it all comes down to. There is money on the line today. First place out of this heat is going to take home $800. Second place, $500. And third place, $400. Not only that, but they will be invited. The top 3 USA team riders will be invited to represent Team USA in the World Championships in Thailand this year. So a lot of personal and international glory potentially on the line to represent their country. And, so that's going to be pretty exciting to see what's coming up here. They are a couple minutes away from the female women's tech final here.
You can see the nerves are kicking in a little bit. You know, there's some twitching. You can see Kim Barnes' legs twitching, and everybody's kind of stepping side to side, having their little pre-race thoughts. But right now, the adrenaline's starting to flow. They're trying to keep their heart rates down, to be honest with you. It's nerve-wracking sitting on that line.
Maybe, there you go. They're all wiggling. They hear us talking right now.
Seychelles doing her shakeout.
See, we're doing this just to calm you guys down.
So
I'm waiting for one of them.
They're not nervous at all.
I'm waiting for
Seychelles saying, I'm not nervous. Kim's like, I'm not nervous. Fiona's like, are you guys kidding? Let me win this dance contest.
Let's see who looks at their watch first to see what their heart rate is currently.
Exactly. But this is going to be an exciting one, for sure.
If you're new to stand-up paddleboarding, again, this is the 800-meter technical race coming up. These ladies made it through their first heat earlier today. Top 4 moved forward. This is a 8 female heat. This is the biggest heat that we've had of the technical race, and that's going to make it pretty exciting as they get their beach start and make their way to that first yellow buoy where all the carnage potentially happens, making that first left-hand turn and making their way through the course. We've seen lead changes happen all throughout the course today. Mainly in the beginning and the end is most common, but we've seen today that anything is possible.
Yeah, this is going to be exciting. I can't wait. Nimse's down there rocking. I think she's got some tunes in her ears or something. So Nimse's got a little dance going. She's ready. You know, the thing with this kind of race is anything can happen. I mean, anything can happen. So
especially with that alligator that's right in front of them.
Some of the dark horses in this race, you know, they're going to give it their all because, like we've seen many times so far today, there's been some falls. So
who can hang on and who can make it happen?
It definitely takes a clean race to win this race. Chances of everyone falling is pretty slim.
I don't think so.
So if you can paddle a clean race, technical turns, nice sprints, hold your heart rate down, and you could come out the winner.
It's fair to say the wind has picked up just a little bit. It's definitely, you'll see later, there are some flags that are flapping. Windy told us roughly a 10, 11, 12 mile an hour wind.
Yeah,
there you go. You can see those flags flapping around there. What a beautiful overhead shot.
I'm calling that a little more than 10 to 12 mile an hour
It
wind.
might be more like 13 plus.
I'm starting to feel 15 plus. I'm looking for some, I'm watching also the tents down there and the sand blowing. So all of a sudden, this cold front that's pushing through today is pushing through right now before the finals because that wind is definitely picked up.
It's definitely a right to left wind for them, which may affect that initial drive, but it's going to mainly affect that last sprint. They are going to be, it looks like it's going to be straight up wind for them, which you know, presents a little bit. You got to paddle a little harder to definitely try to go the same speed. It looks like
Fiona's got her board, so we're getting close.
Yep, it looks like they got some announcements from the starter.
I think we're within that minute. Typically, that's when you'll see the paddlers pick up their boards, some of them. So Nimse's just chilling still, so it's got to be any second now.
Okay, it looks like they either got a 10 or a 30-second warning here. They're coming up. Everybody has their boards in hand. Their board is on their favorite side. They practice these beach starts nonstop. This is not random that they just decided they were going to run into the water today.
Absolutely.
But here they go. Get ready for the women's female final. Coming up here really soon. About to kick off. They're in position and they're ready.
And they're off. Let's see who gets the cleanest ride here.
Seychelles right in the middle. There, Fiona right next to her. Nimse as well.
Caroline.
She's on the SIC.
Caroline, Fiona, Seychelles, Nimse. That's Caroline Kunzel on the outside.
Caroline Kunzel looks like she has virtually the #1, and Fiona virtually number 2 right now.
Fiona 2, Seychelles 3, Nimse 4, Kim 5. It's a tough race right now. They've got a ways to go. Let's see what happens at this first buoy, Rob. This is going to be exciting.
Look at this.
Here.
They're not even single file.
Look at Fiona's trying to still get that inside line. If she can get her board halfway past Caroline, she can sort of take the inside.
This is where it's going to go. Let's see.
Yes.
Okay, look at that. Fiona takes the clean turn, moves clearly into position 1.
Nimse in 3rd, Seychelles, Kim, all kind of around the buoy together. So
Seychelles right on the outside. She's currently in 4th position. If she's going to get that hat trick, she's got a little bit of room to, a little bit of distance to make up here.
Right now, it's Fiona
Nia
Wild
Lee making the turn, and that's Mama Eli right behind there.
There we go. So we got Fiona Wild, followed by Caroline Kunzel, and then a pack of 3. Kim Barnes, Nimse, and Seychelles trying to track down that cash part, that 3rd
Look at that.
place
Look at this fight for virtual 3rd right now. All 3 of them, nose to nose.
Oh, my goodness.
It looks like Kim on the outside trying to...
Yeah, Seychelles has the inside line. So
looks like she got bottled up just a little bit by that buoy.
Weak side turn for her, maybe.
Let's see who comes out of it.
got around clean.
They are going to sprint out of that buoy turn. They want that 3rd place position. They want the clean water. Fiona Wild just making it look really good up front right there.
Yeah,
followed by Caroline.
It's really hard to tell from this angle who's sitting in 3rd, but if I had to call, I'd say
Seychelles. Looks like she's moved up.
Here we go.
Kim
We're going to get
close.
a look here. So we got Fiona making this turn.
Fiona
now.
Wild bumping into the buoy just a little bit. Caroline Kunzel right behind.
Seychelles is in 3rd, making that buoy turn now. Kim's on her tail. Nimse's taking the outside. So let's see what happens
4
here.
and 5 right here. Look at that. Nimse had a little bit of a stronger turn right there, and she could be poised to be on the inside for that next buoy if she can outsprint Kim. It looks like Kim maybe took the power to it right now and moving into 4th. Nimse now following behind into 5th.
Yep, Fiona Wild rounding buoy 4, still in the lead with Caroline Kunzel. So this hasn't changed. Seychelles in 3rd. You know, Seychelles
right there.
does not want to stay in that 3rd position.
If Seychelles can move on the left, she could have an inside line right. Oh, look at that. Who just went down? Is that Kim?
Oh, I think Kim went down.
Kim went down. The wind is pushing them into that buoy. And
Nimse is getting pinned in there.
Nimse
so now
is
Victoria
stuck.
Burgess comes around.
Oh, huge change up right there. Victoria Burgess now moving into 4th. Kim Barnes on her knees popping up, number 5. Nimse, number 6. Nia... Oh, that's Eli right behind number 7, and Nia Lee number 8 right behind.
So here's the race. So Fiona's coming down the home stretch now.
You
so
can
let's
see that Fiona Wild has probably a 4 board length lead right now.
I'm calling Fiona right now unless something really happens. That's a lot of ground for Seychelles to make up to take home this win. But
is Seychelles still in 3rd right now?
She's battling with Caroline, but she is technically in 3rd.
That's 2 and 3.
But
you can see those 2 red-nose SICs right now going at it. And Seychelles won the sprints, so there's no doubt she is going to be grinding. They have an uphill battle working that. Oh, look at this right here. This number 4.
The 4 spot
is looking gnarly. In the middle is
Kim Barnes in the middle. Victoria Burgess on
your left, as you see it, and Nimse
on
the far there, and then Eli right behind them. It looks like Kim is taking a little more power to it.
Yeah. Oh, what an unfortunate fall for Kim, obviously. But now she has to battle her way back to at least stay in that top 5.
Kim moving into, she's now number 4. I am not sure if there is enough real estate. There you go. There's Fiona Wild, your number 1 female right now, making her way.
Oh, there's Fiona. Let's see if we can get these girls behind her. If we can get these girls behind her.
Let's slide back just a little bit. It looks like Seychelles maybe is moving into 2nd officially.
Oh, no. Let's go back to 2nd and 3rd if we can get the cameras to switch over towards the finish.
There you go. There's Kim Barnes. And
okay, here we go. So Fiona Wild's going to take the win. Now, that is Seychelles in 2nd.
Put on the sprint juice.
And
she
Caroline
took it to
Kunzel.
Fiona Wild, number 1, your first place female on her Starboard All-Star. Seychelles on her SIC, number 2.
Caroline Kunzel in 3rd. Nice job, ladies.
Number 3, there's your top 3 females, but it's not over yet. Number 4, Kim Barnes, right there on your right, pushing for 4 and 5 and 6 right now. A little bit of a battle.
Looks like
Nimse in front.
And Victoria Burgess.
Right there. Let's see who can hold on.
Rounds out the top 5 is Nimse. Nice paddling,
Nimsay
girls.
number 5 and Victoria Burgess number 6. Excellent racing there. And here comes 7 and 8. Eli coming through.
Eli Miller and Neely. This is awesome. So great racing, exciting like we expected it. We did see that fall that we talked about, you know, Robin. That's you can't fall. You know, you're not going to place if you fall.
Not in the finals.
More than likely, not in the finals. Too much talent. So
Seychelles picked up. She started at that first buoy in 4th.
Yeah.
And ended up battling her way back to 2nd.
Absolutely. There's your results.
There's your times. Fiona Wild, 4:47. Seychelles, 4:52. Caroline Kuntzel, 4:59. Kim Barnes, 5:15. Nimsay Garcia, 5:20. Victoria Burgess, 5:22. Right behind her, Eli Miller, 5:53. And Nia Lee rounding out the top 8 at 5:56. You know, John, we were talking about maybe some 4-minute and 30-second finals, but I think the wind played a huge role in, unfortunately, when you're on a paddleboard, you are a human sail. And if you have to paddle upwind, it doesn't matter the course. The wind will tell you what you're going to do.
Yeah, so what I was going to say about that is you're absolutely right, Rob. The wind played the factor in the times, but I feel the wind actually in a way may have helped Seychelles because she is such a strong paddler upwind. You saw her make her move from that buoy number 5 to the finish. She was able to overtake Caroline, and that's mostly just brute strength. You know, upwind paddling takes a lot of brute strength, and so Seychelles, I think, used the wind to her advantage. So great racing by all of them. Fiona Wild with the win. That's awesome for her.
Coming off a shoulder injury last year, I think she said this is only her 5th race this year. Which,
so good.
As a pro athlete, they're usually doing 20 or 30. You know, this is.
So here's your start. Everyone got a decently clean start. Actually, Kim Barnes started on her knees, so she did not get a clean start. You see Caroline Kuntzel take off like a bullet. I mean, she did that at the first heat as well.
Look at that sprint cadence right there. That's 70. 80 strokes per minute.
Amazing there. So you see these ladies racing to the buoy, but if you watch Fiona,
she worked hard right there.
She worked hard to get to that buoy on the inside and have her board at least half the distance past Caroline, so she had priority at the buoy, which that's a huge right there. So that won the race for Fiona right here. That effort on that initial sprint won the race, or definitely helped win the race right here. See how she got that inside position? She got her nose halfway past her board.
It was her solid side turn. Made a huge difference, and that was it right there.
Absolutely. And Fiona has excellent footwork, right? And this is where we see Kim Barnes fall, I believe, right? Isn't it this buoy, or is it the next one?
No, she falls on 4, I believe.
So Fiona Wild has excellent footwork, right? She's a winged foiler and a surfer and everything else, and she showed her skills there. So
there we go. There's that Kim crash right there. And look, that wind is just pinning Nimsay into that buoy.
Yeah. So
Kim's pinned into it. She can't get around. She's going backwards around her. Victoria Burgess got to just float around the outside, had an open door to pick up two position lead.
And there's Fiona coming in for the win. And it was unfortunate, honestly, for Nimsay, probably more than anybody, because Nimsay
got held up a little bit.
Held up. So.
And to no fault of anybody, when you're in the water, tough. Nothing that you can do there.
And there's Seychelles coming in second. So Seychelles has to be stoked about her weekend performance.
First in sprints. 1 and 2.
Yeah, so she's going to be stoked coming back this season after having a baby and putting in the work that she's put in. So it's safe to say that Seychelles is back. So that's awesome for her. Really fun to watch her race. And
a lot of returning female athletes.
Yeah, with Fiona coming back from injury. And so
pretty cool to see. Those are international fan favorites for sure.
Absolutely.
Everybody knows them on the scene. They are pro riders at the highest level of women's stand-up paddleboarding.
Absolutely.
And, I'm going to take just a nice deep breath here because that was wonderful. That was so fun to watch. And
that was great.
We hope you guys enjoyed that action. That was very cool to see. And quite honestly, some lead changes there. You know, we usually don't see those top 3 lead change as often in a final.
Well, Fiona held on to it. So, you know, she made it to that first buoy. And we talked earlier, that really is primarily the race, as long as you don't make any mistakes after that. So she worked hard to get to that first buoy first. But after that, we saw a lot of position jockeying. You know, with Seychelles especially moving 2 spots from 4th position all the way up to the 2nd position.
Yep, Kim had that rough start there and then ended up coming back to 4.
Yeah.
That was pretty sweet
And
there.
then-
So coming up here, you now get to see your list. This is the championship men's 800-meter technical open final. These are the best of the best from around the world and around our area. Tillman Meisner, Edwin Cornier, Bodie Von Allman, Erie Tenorio, Omelv Garcia, Jake Portwood, Peter Grzanski, and Mike Wong. Pretty great lineup coming up here. Let's talk about where these guys are from.
Well-
Tillman's East Coast. He's from Maryland.
Yeah, from Maryland. Edwin's out of Puerto Rico.
Bodie Von Allman, he's all the way West Coast.
Yeah,
right?
I believe he's Portland. I want to say
Oregon?
Hood River, but it's not Hood River. I believe it's Portland. So Bodie from Portland, Oregon.
Erie represents Brazil internationally.
Yeah, Erie is definitely a Brazilian athlete at this point. He is married and in the United States now, but he's not a citizen, so he's still paddling proudly for Brazil and will at Thailand in November paddle for Brazil.
Yep.
So
Omelv out of Puerto
Omelv
Rico.
is from Puerto Rico.
His sister, we just got to watch a race. Pretty
his
cool,
sister.
brother and sister,
Yeah.
and they're only like pretty much the same age.
Absolutely.
Or close to it. So what a power paddling family.
Looks like they have good training partners.
Apparently.
Jake Portwood is out of Stewart, Florida, which is my hometown.
Peter
And
Krzansky, all the way from northern Canada, as
Yeah.
we talked about, powerhouse here. He absolutely talked about how that humidity yesterday played a big role in his race, but
yeah, Peter's feeling better today.
he's feeling way better, and he said, and I like these temperatures. It's about probably 7 degrees cooler than it was yesterday, and definitely less humidity, a little more wind.
Yeah, and then Mike Wang is rounding up the lineup, and he's out of California, correct?
Yep, he's Alameda. He's got a shop up there.
Mike Wong, sorry, Mike's
Mike's paddle shop out there. So if you're out
Nice.
on the California coast, you got plenty of people to connect with, Maryland and all across the world. What a great international field we have coming up. We are, give or take, 3 minutes away from the men's final.
Well, do you want to give your predictions? Because I've been giving predictions. Do you want to give yours?
Yeah, I think, clearly Erie is one to look out for. He's won the two races already in first place this week. Jake Portwood, obviously, right behind him. Bodie Von Allman, a young gun, and listen, he wants to make his name known, and he's gonna go after it. Edwin had a really great start. Omelv, he's young too, and you can't. When you got young guns out there, they're unpredictable. They're kind of the dark horses. You just don't know what they're going to do. And Peter, a super strong paddler. He's a crossover paddler from other water, canoe, kayak sports. So he has an interesting set of skills that we'll see how they cross over here today.
Well,
So did I name all 8?
No,
Because I just
you
named
did.
all 8.
You did name all. You didn't give us a favorite, but that's okay. I'm laughing right now because I'm just going to do this. Knowing Erie Tenorio and Jake Portwood, they told me they were going to race in their Speedos for the final, and they are. So this is Kristen, they want to be as fast as they can be.
As you are seeing right now in the
They
green and
dropped
yellow,
the board
there's
shorts,
Erie.
and they are in their Speedos. So
I think they're getting some starting. They're getting some starting warnings here. They
Yeah.
might be almost a minute out. You can see their boards are on the sand.
yes, they are within a minute now. So all
Okay,
right, enough of this
left to
joking
right.
around. Let's get this race
Left
underway.
to right, you see Mike Wong, Peter Krzansky, Jake Portwood, Omelv Garcia, Erie in the middle, Bodie Von Allman on the NSP directly in the middle, standing straight up there, and Edwin Cornier and Tillman Meisner. Let's see who gets the start, because that's where it's going to come down to. Big start. Men's final open 2023 ICF World Cup coming at you live in any moment here. I see the starter giving some hitting the bullhorn. The wind is up. You can see that wind is going to maybe play a role again like it did in the last heat.
Who's going to get the clean start?
There we go.
Remember Jake Portwood fell on his heat, so does he get a clean start now? Yes, he does. Okay.
Erie,
Omelv, Erie, and Jake, it looks like
all
right
three
now.
virtually right there. Everybody full out
Where's
sprinting.
Bodie? Bodie, I didn't catch a bobble from Bodie, but Bodie's going to have some work to do.
Bodie,
One of the
1, 2, 3,
favorites,
4,
I would
5,
think.
6 right now.
Yeah,
Getting a little bit of a tougher start. Peter found himself towards the back of the pack right now.
Right now it's Jake Portwood.
Jake
has the
Portwood
shot.
moves into number 1. Erie virtually
Or no,
number
that's Omelv. I'm sorry, the screen is hard to see.
Omelv, number 1.
Yeah, Omelv's making it
Here
to
he
the
goes,
buoy.
getting to the money buoy first. Omelv Garcia out of Puerto
Omelv,
Rico.
Erie Tenorio,
Number 2,
Jake Portwood,
on the outside.
Edwin, Here comes Bodie and
Bodie
Peter.
Von Allman, number 5.
Tillman,
Peter, number 6.
Tillman's in the mix. Tillman's not giving up. He's right on Bodie's
Tillman
tail. Nice
Miser,
turn by all those guys.
Number 7, Mike Wong, and back number 8 there.
Man, what a turn. All those guys made that turn
Smooth.
clean. Beautiful. You're looking at the leaders now. So you still have Omelv in the lead with Erie on the inside there, trying to track him down.
That's what I'm talking about. A
Portwood
little
and
bit,
Edwin.
little bit of a dark horse
Yeah,
here, just
let's
coming
see
out and
if
stealing the
Omelv-
show.
Let's see if Omelv can make this clean turn. He does.
Clean turn. He's taking it a
Erie's
bit
still
wide.
turned. Erie's got
Erie's
some
wide.
work to do.
Jake
There's
Portwood
Jake on the inside and Edwin. So all 4 of these guys, this is going to be a battle for the top 3.
Bodie, a crossbow turn. Peter,
Yeah.
he's doing his canoe turn there.
Yeah.
We're going to work on that with Peter
Yeah,
there.
and
Get him moving
Tillman
a little
gets
bit.
around
Tillman
clean,
looks
so-
like he's maybe lead change right there. Tillman
Yeah.
moving into 7th. Peter took that turn a little bit wide. You can see these guys all in line for
Here
buoy
we
number
go.
3.
Omelv's still holding on to the lead. So Erie's right on his tail. Both of them get around clean.
Clean turn.
If there's a mistake made, it's going to be crucial at this point. So there's Jake Portwood coming around. Edwin coming around.
Edwin maybe had a little
Edwin's
moment
on
to
a
gain.
19.75
Nice.
for. So
There it
he's
is.
going to have to battle for some stability. I know Bodie's on a
Bodie
skinny
number
board.
5. Peter back in number 7. He didn't
There's
lose
your
that,
top 4.
that lead change.
There's your top 4. Omelv is still there. Rounding buoy 4.
Only one left.
Erie, man, this is an exciting race. Omelv, dark horse. We talked about
This very well might come
Yeah.
down to who has the gas in their tank.
Yeah,
And Omelv didn't do the 10K.
He did not do the 10K,
So
he did
he's-
great in the sprints. He
He
did
might.
great in the sprints.
Let's see what he does here. This is where it's going to come
Yeah,
down to.
Erie and Omelv.
Now he took it wide, and the wind is pushing him in the wrong
Let's
direction.
see if
But
Erie
Erie's
has
following
the,
suit.
Does Erie have the sprint to get past them in this upwind sprint? Jake Portwood still coming around in 3rd, and Edwin makes it around the
Number
buoy.
4, Bodie number
is not
5.
giving up. Bodie's not giving up. He's around that buoy now.
Peter and Tillman right there. Okay, here it is. This is what it's at. 250 meters to the
Oh,
final
my goodness.
for the men's open.
Does Erie have it? Let's see.
Boy, look how wide they both went.
Yeah.
They completely took a different line.
Erie went really wide.
Erie is taking the downwind side of it a little. I mean, it's all upwind.
It's all
but
upwind. He's trying to maybe protect himself a tiny bit, but
It's pushing them.
this is a sprint to the finish. Oh, my
I
goodness.
feel like right now Erie is
Yeah.
is making a gain here from
Yeah.
2nd and maybe even moving into
Absolutely.
1st a little bit.
Well, if you look at their cadence, let's see.
This is 4, 5, and 6.
Third.
There we
There's
go.
1st and 2nd. Okay, if you're
There's
looking at
Erie.
Erie's
Erie
cadence,
is now officially into 1st position virtually.
virtually, it's so tight.
At
It's
Olmo
so
number
tight.
2 right there. What an
There
amazing
we
showing
go.
from him.
There's a good shot of it right there on the screen. So
There we
Erie
go.
Tenorio putting down probably about 8 more strokes per minute than Omar. You know, his cadence he had to at that point. So what a race by these guys.
Right there. Erie probably 1 board length ahead. You can see that finish line is right at the dock there.
Absolutely. Here comes Bodie. He wants to. Oh God, we got to get some camera. There's
Let's see,
Erie
3,
for the
4,
win.
and 5.
Sorry
There's
about that,
Erie
guys.
number 1, Omelv number 2
Two.
crossing the finish line. And let's see, here's 3, 4, and 5.
Yep. So we got 3rd place coming in now.
That's Edwin.
Nope, that's Jake
Oh,
Portwood.
Jake Portwood, number
Come on,
3.
Jake. And 4 is Bodie Von Allman. So Bodie made some moves.
Picked up some time
And
on that
Edwin
backstretch there.
rounds out the top 5. Edwin,
There's Peter
Followed
Grzanski
by
coming in from Canada.
Peter, and then Tillman. All right. Whew.
That was exciting.
We almost had a shocker.
Oh, the dark horse.
The dark horse almost did it. Omelv.
You know what? Great job, Omelv, for
Look at the times. Look at the times. It's that wind we talked about, but still, look at the times.
Those are fast times.
Those are fast times.
Erie Tenorio at 4 minutes, 7 seconds, your men's technical 800-meter winning opener. And not only that, but Erie officially got his hat trick. He took
was
first in all 3 of the races, the 200-meter sprint on Friday, the 10K on Saturday, and the tech race today. There is no doubt he has some celebrating to do. Well, not this weekend. It's almost over. But next weekend, he's gonna
And
get
we got
his
Mike Wong
celebration
on the
in.
screen here. Mike's getting ready to come in.
Mike Wong finishing up his race here, making it.
I'm sure
look
he was
smooth,
pretty stoked to
upwind.
line up with those big boys, don't you think?
Heck, I'd be
Yeah.
stoked to line up with
Yeah.
those big boys. That was
So,
incredible out there.
Great job by Mike. So.
Jake Portwood, just having a pretty solid race there.
So,
we were
you know-
predicting maybe he was 1 and 2 most races this weekend.
Well, he was
picked
second sprint, second in distance,
Yep, now
and
third here.
And third here. So Jake also had an amazing weekend. Omelv, wow, that's incredible. I love seeing that. And
So cool. And Omelv, I think, 20 or 21, something like
Oh.
that. Young gun.
that's even better. I'm glad he decided to use a flying fish for us on this race.
There you go, right? Bodie made a pretty good comeback. He didn't have
No, but
probably,
Bodie made an incredible comeback.
He didn't
I
have
think,
a clean start.
No, he sat in the 6th position for a while and then had to fight his way back to 5th, and then he was able to get past Edwin on that upwind section and really put down the hammer and get 4th. So good work by Bodie not to give up. He fought his way the entire race. So that's awesome. And you see Mike Wong take a swim after his finish.
Excellent. 6 minutes, 33 seconds. Excellent win or excellent finish there, Mike Wong. Great job kicking some behind.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. You can see your official standings there that are now gone. There's us up in the 4th tower. There's those standings again. 4 minutes, 7 seconds. I think that was officially, was it 2 seconds longer than the first
I
run?
think
They
it
were
was
405, 407. It was pretty close.
Yeah, it was really close. Is that wind you
The
talked
wind
about?
for sure playing a huge role.
I'd have to say that Erie's ready for Thailand. He showed us this weekend that he's the dominant athlete here.
Yep.
Now he's going to have to go to Thailand and face all the other in the world's best. So it's going to be
great.
fun to watch. So.
The top 3 male USA riders will be invited. There's Mike just taking a little rest.
Yeah, he's just
he's having fun. He's
showing us the proper way to remount on a dugout.
This is called prone paddling. There you go.
He's
Hey,
waving
Mike.
to us.
Let's get some replay action that's going on.
All
here.
right.
Let's see
Here's the start. I think let's watch Bodie real quick if we can, because we didn't get to see it. No, he just
didn't get to his feet very
just to get
fast.
his feet. Yeah, but he had a clean start. So, but look at Omelv. Omelv set that pace early. I'm sure maybe Erie at some point was like, wait a minute, where did this come from? So these guys, look at their cadence, Rob. Look at the cadence. So, and then you had Jake Portwood here on the far left. It's a fight for that buoy, right? So we talked about how you don't see lead changes in these technical races once you get to the first buoy, but we also talked about the fact that they put a 250-meter sprint for the finish. And what did we see today?
Yep, lots of lead changes. And I think we were talking about that earlier, how we really liked this course setup, that it isn't just so tight that you don't have some room to pass in this first little stretch. That's exactly what we saw. People sprinting for the position, and that last 250 meters, you had a lot of chance to show who has more gas in the tank.
Well,
and use some sprint skills and some power if you have it.
Yeah, both Seychelles and Erie took that. If you remember, Seychelles moved her positioning to second on that upwind final leg, and Erie was able to take the win because of that final leg.
Pretty cool seeing all these guys just, even first to eighth, they were all pretty much right there.
Here's that upwind paddle we were just talking about. So you see Erie, that's the 200-meter tent, right? So Erie does not have the lead at that point. He needed all 250 meters to catch Omelv. So it's exciting racing for sure.
Yep, nice finishes there. Oh, man, as you're finishing watching this, we are so honored that you spent the entire weekend with us. If you are listening right now, we know that you were here Friday and Saturday and Sunday hanging out with us because it was just too cool to not be watching these international top of their class athletes stand up paddleboarding from around the world in the ICF SUP World Cup. We are in Sarasota, Florida. We just found out that we just broke the 100,000 view mark this weekend, so thank you for all of you out there watching.
Do you think that was due to our commentating?
I think it had to
could have been, yeah.
I mean, I know these guys did some stuff, but
I mean, we clearly have a face.
We're clearly having some fun.
We have a face for radio for sure, don't we?
Yeah.
Is that what they say? They put us on the radio?
I think they definitely didn't want to show our face. I think with at least 10 hours, I don't think we got any viewage. Probably for the better that they hit us behind these tinted windows.
Yeah, that's okay.
There's a great view of where we're at Nathan Benderson Park. And again, a really great reminder, we hope that you start making some plans to block off some time for next year at this exact same location. The ICF will be hosting the 2024 World Championships. They are expecting.
Wait, I mean, are they giving us a little? They're flying the drone in here. Are they going to give us some coverage? Oh, man.
Maybe 2, 3, 4.
Maybe we can wave to them. I don't know if you can see us.
If you can see us, we are in there saying hello. But the World Championships coming up here next year, 2024. Over 600 or 700 different international athletes and riders will be here making their way. Let's see, we are in there. If you see in your right corner there, right below the deck, we are in there waving. We are saying hello. Apparently we do have a face for radio. Up above, you can see our camera gentleman.
Yep, there you go.
Who is our red what? All right, let's get a little recap of the weekend before we sign off, and we really appreciate you guys being here with us. Check out this recap, and we'll sign off right after.
All right, here we go. It looks like that's Jake Portwood winning one of his heats in the sprints. Yuri Tenorio winning his heat in the sprints. That might be the final. No, that's not the final. That's the second men's heat there. So this is your women's heat for the sprints.
Caroline Kunzel Wild there. Seychelles again and Kim.
Yep, Seychelles and Kim. Packard Casey there was a Masters. Oh, this is
doing his playing around moment.
Yeah, practicing his buoy turns there. Let's see, here we go. That is Steve Miller crossing the finish line for the Masters Sprint Champion. This is our distance race for yesterday, right? This is where the excitement really got going. Yuri Tenorio there right before he put on his show.
Bodie Von Allman, number 3 right there, and then Jake Portwood right in front of him. Some glassy, sunny sun happening all weekend long. We had a little bit of overcast, but man, we couldn't ask for better weather. As a matter of fact, it was supposed to be raining all weekend, and we only had a smidge of a drop this morning.
So there's Erie winning your distance race yesterday.
Hat-trick winner, all 3 races this weekend.
What a performance by Erie, like we talked about many times now. So huge performance by him. And the rest of the distance race was so exciting. The second, third, fourth for men's, and then the women's final, which we're going to see here in a minute. Here's, I believe, that, whoop, there's one of our spectators. Let's see if we can get this women's final on the highlight. I know it's coming. Look at this footage. We've talked about this all weekend. This is your women's final sprint on a 10K.
Such a great final there. Yeah. Seychelles ended up taking number 1, followed by Kim and Stephanie.
Yeah.
Fiona right behind.
Look at that. There's your finish.